What's up, guys? What is going on? What's up? What's up, Christopher? What's up, CJ? What's up, Salsa? I see you guys. What up, guys? What is going on? How are we all holding up during the sports apocalypse that's going on? As y'all can see, I brought a special guest along for the evening, my Cajun brother down there in Louisiana. What's up, Goose? How you doing,
What's
bro?
up, man? How you doing, man? So, had what a wonderful day of sports. We had the basketball tournaments ending. The SEC, the ACC. Oh wait, man, no, we didn't. Damn it.
Oh, I tell you, man, what's this, day three of no live
Yeah,
sports?
it was Wednesday night when I was getting ready for the Pelicans Kings game because the first when all hell broke loose when Gobert got when they canceled that first game, the Jazz and the Thunder. I put on my community notes, okay, there's no games, and then they come out and they said that they were going to play the game, which I found kind of odd. And then with 5 minutes before tip-off, they say no, they're not going to play it because one of the referees refereed the game that Gobert was in prior or whatever. So, and then they shut that down. Then it was over with. So, and that so yeah. So Thursday, Friday. Well, there were some spring training games Thursday, and then I think Friday was really the first day where there was no sports. Pretty sure it was Friday.
Yeah, man, it's been tough.
Yeah.
It definitely has been tough. That's for sure. But so let's, it's like I said, this thing is this virus is crazy, man. It
Yeah.
shut all of the sports world down, and it's put a halt to pretty much anything. The only real survivor out of all of this is looking more and more like it's going to be the NFL. I mean, because they can do their stuff remotely. So
Yeah,
so
they can do the draft like they used to before they had it, where all the fans were, in the back. They can just do it in some kind of building, and and they can probably televise it, but we're not going to have like we thought, where the players come on a boat, across the Bellagio Bay out there in Vegas, on the fountains. I was really interested to see how that was going to work out, the boats and all that, but no dice. Maybe one year they'll go back to Vegas. So, man.
yeah, no, it's I'm telling you, man, it's I mean, we've been through, me and you at least have been through what went down, when, during the 9/11 crisis,
9/11,
which,
right?
I mean, that only shuts stuff down for, call it
Yeah,
maybe
because
what, 3 or 4 days, maybe.
yeah, because I remember LSU and the Saints were only off. They only were off that one weekend, which was the 15th, because it was Tuesday. 11th was a Tuesday. The 15th was the next Saturday, and then they started playing the 22nd. So right, they were only we were only out for a week at that point in time. And they just had remember they added all the games, that the game that was missed, they just put it at the end of the year. And I think they pushed everything back one week. All
Yeah,
the playoff games, and
but I mean,
so
and even a national crisis like that. I mean, this is what we're seeing is crazy, guys.
yeah,
I mean, the whole sporting world has come to an absolute halt.
yeah,
But I mean, so what we're gonna kind of dive into today, guys, is we're gonna act like we're gonna pick this up right where it kind of left off, and we're
yeah.
gonna go basically from sport to sport, and we're gonna give you our thoughts on where this, when they do resume, where we're gonna pick up from, and
And
maybe,
how yeah, 'cause-
yeah, and how
how can it be done?
yeah, how do you think we could, how they're gonna resume it basically.
Because I have my feelings on how I think it's going to be a problem, big problem. On how, if they I don't think they can just start the season and play the games that were missed.
No,
I don't know how to
it's
do that.
yeah. I mean, Goose. I'm sure you've heard they've talked 3 or 4 different scenarios on how to start. So let's start with we'll start with the NBA.
Yeah.
They're now they might stand a chance of actually finishing the season semi normally
Right.
because if it does, let's say they wait the full 30 days and it does pan out to it does pan out the way they're hoping it does.
Right. Everything levels off with the everything levels off with the virus.
Yeah.
You know, to
So
say those things.
so the playoffs in the playoffs, are what do they start? They start in April, right? The first week in
Yeah,
April.
I think yeah, because don't they go from April to like August? No, it's June.
So
Yeah.
so what's up, Cracks? What's going on, man? Water King, the other Coach K, Coach Plays. I see all you guys. What's up? So I mean, my personal thoughts are the NBA is going to have probably, barring any major channels. I mean, any major um, setbacks. That's what I'm getting. Any
Right.
major,
If they can come back in 30 days, that's gonna be ideal.
yeah, that would be the most.
Anything past that's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, the NBA is going to have, in my opinion, they're going to have the easiest pickup point where they can. Now, the interesting point is how they're going to do that. Like, would they just kind of put the season on pause and resume the games that were
Yeah, right.
left?
Let's say they come back April 13th. Let's just put that date out. Now, are they going to play? Are they going to say, okay, every game from now can be played because those arenas are already booked? They knew they were booked, so they were already going to be staffed properly and stuff like that. But I don't know. Because I don't know how they're going to make up a month's worth of games. Because when are you going to play those games? What days a week are you going to play those games? How are you going to staff the arena? I mean, because all these arenas are booked in advance because they host other stuff throughout the year. So I just don't. I just because and look, what some arenas have NBA and NHL. They have 2 teams like your team Boston.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, how are they going to work out those schedules if they got to play a month worth of games? That's. I don't know how they can do that. They might just have to say, you know what, we're going to have to continue the season as of this date and move forward.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and so that's like one, that's one scenario how they could run it.
Right.
Another one is, so that's scenario number one is they basically take the season that they put on pause.
Right.
Everybody's got the same records, and they try and cram the rest of the games that the game. What was there? There's probably 15 or 18 games left in the season, something like that.
Yeah,
20 games maybe.
I think around that. Yeah.
Yeah, between 15 and 20, somewhere around there. Games left in the regular
Some teams
season.
played more than others, so yeah.
So, I mean, that's scenario number one. You kind of just pick up right where you left off, and you try and squeeze it in, and then you go. It's basically you have you're going to be playing your finals in August instead of
Right.
instead of June and July. So that's scenario number one. Now, the next scenario that I was hearing was they're basically just going to take the standings the way they were at the time of the pause, and then just say, here's your playoffs, here's your seedings, here's and make a schedule like that. Now, I don't know how you feel about that, but if I was a team on the bubble, chasing a playoff spot like your team, the Pelicans, who have been playing well, and they're trying to run down that last playoff spot. I mean, that's gonna piss a lot of people off.
Yeah, it's unfortunate if that comes to pass. Where they just say, you know what, these are the top 8 teams in each conference, and unfortunately, it just can't work out where they can play the whole season out. I mean, I can see that happening. I really could, but it's unfortunate. But sometimes life isn't fair, and I don't know, but ideally, I think what the NBA really wanted to do was play it with no fans. But Rudy Gobert screwed that all up with his shenanigans.
No, I 100% agree that the NBA would have played in empty arenas to finish the season out if if an athlete, a player hadn't
gotten sick.
they would have easily done that.
That's
They
what
would have they would have tested the players, the officials,
yeah.
before the game, before each game. They would have tested the players and officials, and
Yeah.
they would have gone about it like that. But as soon as Rudy Gobert tested positive,
I knew it was done.
Yeah.
I knew everything was done. I mean, NBA, NHL, the March Madness was done. So I knew at that point. I said, you know what? I said, ooh, this is not good.
yeah. Now look, that's I can't see them doing. I really don't think they would just seed the team. Like, I think that's the most unlikely situation,
Right.
where they just go, here's the seeding,
Here's the scenes.
unless this thing lasts longer,
Right.
than they originally thought it
Right.
would. If this thing doesn't get solved until May, then that scenario might become
Might
more
happen.
likely, because
I agree.
they don't want to. They're just not going to have the time. I mean, there's concerts, there's
Right,
these
there's
other
concerts.
these venues hold other stuff than just sporting events.
Right, they do. Like I said, yeah, right. Because some of these, what are some of these workers that are just seasonal, and they don't work there past April.
Yeah, yeah, yep.
So I mean, I don't know.
So that's kind of the way the NBA has played it out. They were the ones that kind of tipped this whole. That
When that domino fell, they all fell.
yeah, oh yeah. And then, I mean, we saw it, like, hockey wasn't too far
Right.
behind it. They were, once again, they were going to do the same thing, and they kind of drug their feet on it, and finally they caved as well.
Yeah. Now hockey has less games left,
Yeah.
right? Don't. And it's not much, huh?
No,
games
they're
do
they're
that
right
way.
around not by much. They're right around the same. It's getting tough though, man. Like we said at the beginning of this thing, the NFL looks like it's going to escape, most of the kind of setback from
Yeah, unless this thing gets worse, like we said. If this thing just goes like as planned, the NFL should be able to start everything, as planned. I'm sure they'll do the free agency. They can do that Skype calls, whatever. They don't need to meet players, but these pro days, these college pro days are done. That's going to hurt some players' chances of getting drafted, unfortunately, because teams can't go out and see them perform
Yep.
on these college pro days.
Yep.
So I mean, Joe
And
Burrow,
who that's going to hurt players like Tua, because he could
Yeah.
prove that he could play.
right?
Let's say,
It's not going to hurt Joe Burrow.
but I mean, it's going to hurt guys, that really, it's going to hurt those guys in the draft that are like on the bubble, that are really
Yeah.
trying to make an impression on a team to come get them.
Right. Absolutely. It's man.
Now the NFL draft, right? Let's kind of, luckily, like we said, I mean, I think me and you are on the same page with this. Luckily, they can do a lot of their stuff remotely. They'll still probably be able to have the draft. They'll still probably,
They'll televise it.
yeah,
Let's say it's some in meeting room somewhere, wherever, New York, wherever it is, Las Vegas. You think they'll still televise it?
they'll probably still televise it so people can at least see who gets picked. They probably will.
But you won't see the bear hugs from Goodell and the players.
No. So, what do you think, man? Is Burrow a lock at the number one? You think Joe Burrow a lock at the number one pick?
If Cincinnati passes on him, being he's from Ohio,
Yeah.
and let's say he goes to Miami. I think Miami picks second. I believe. I think Miami does. Let's say since he picks Chase Young from Ohio State, and then Miami picks Burrow, and Burrow wins 2 Super Bowls, whatever, and Cincinnati's still in purgatory. Well, then yeah, I think their fans will pretty be upset that they didn't pick the hometown boy to be their quarterback. But
Yeah, I mean, unless the Bengals get offered some ridiculous,
Massive, yeah,
some ridiculous trade offer where you know what I mean? Like, unless somebody blows them away with an offer they can't refuse, which there's not a lot of teams out there that can offer the collateral that they're probably going to be
right.
looking at for
I
the
mean,
number one overall pick.
yeah. I mean, would I want Joe Burrow with the Saints? Absolutely, but I think they would have to give up a king's ransom
To get him, yeah.
to get him, and it won't be. We would have to give up more than we did for Ricky Williams.
I don't think you guys have enough collateral that another team would want to get far enough down the draft to get him.
We don't have a second round pick this year, so we can't put a second round pick this year. We'll probably have to give up at least 3 first round picks to get him. So we probably would be picking until 2030 if we had to put a package together.
So here you go, Goose. We'll pull this one up real quick. I agree with that, man. He needs to go to the right team. A team where, can you see that?
Yeah,
What do you think about that? I agree. I agree with the coach.
Because I mean, since he's really not a good team. I mean, they're not okay. I mean, Joe Burrow's not going to go there. They're not going to win 12 games. They might win 4 or 5 next season if Joe Burrow goes there, because I'm pretty sure their offensive line stinks, and the only receiver is AJ Green. He's getting up there in age. So yeah, since he needs a lot of help around him, if they want to win the division or go to the playoffs, but I don't know. How many teams are going to the playoffs now? Like 10 in the NFL?
I think it's 14.
7?
I think it's
7 each league, huh?
14 now, I think.
Yeah. So now they're gonna reward 8 and 8 teams to get to the playoffs instead of 9 teams.
So this makes me think, right? So now that we're talking NFL, let's get into the CBA, which was approved today. Like, I think it was 1,019 to 949. The votes, it got approved today. So there's more playoff teams, right?
Yeah.
And an extra game at the end of the season. This makes me think that in order to do this, there has to be something in for these owners or these players where they can get paid more money, or they're going to raise the cap. Something has to be, because a lot of these players didn't want another game, and they didn't, you know what I mean? They didn't want it.
Yeah, I think they need to raise is it 53 man roster? I think if they're going to add games, they got to add. They have to increase the roster limit, because players are more susceptible of getting hurt with more games. Although it's only one game, but still, they got to raise that. They have to.
Yeah, it makes me think, though, because I don't think the players would. I mean, do you really think they would agree on something, like without some sort of compensation or kickback for them and the team, and especially?
I would hope they would. I would hope that they.
Yeah.
Is DeMaurice Smith the leader of the Players Association?
I think so. Yes.
I hope he would instruct his
the players accordingly.
I mean, look, guys, this is a good deal. This is not a good deal. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't like the 17 game schedule. I don't know how you feel about it, but I don't like it at all.
I don't know, man. I don't like adding all these adding all these extra playoff teams.
I don't like adding another playoff team either.
To make the playoffs, you got to earn it.
You got to one team a bye.
Yeah.
One seed.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't like. At least like from what I've read, if I was a player, I would vote against it.
How are they going to work out the home games and road games with an odd number of games?
Yeah.
So
I know.
What you're going to tell me is, let's just say the Saints and the Falcons, and let's say the Saints have more home games than the Falcons, and that's how the Saints win the division. I don't think that's fair.
Oh, there's a lot of situations where it's not like I said, if I was a player, I would vote against it. I didn't like I wouldn't have wanted the CBA, but I guess a lot of these high echelon, high paid, these high end guys that the league, views as, the guys, the faces of the league.
Yeah.
I guess they voted in favor, they voted in favor of it, but I don't know, man. For competition wise, I don't like it.
Yeah, because like I said, you're gonna get a 7-9 team in the playoffs.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
not just one. You're probably
absolutely
not
gonna
just one of them. You're probably going to see three.
in both conferences. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't like that at all. So
It's yeah. Like I don't know, man. I didn't. I thought for sure it was going to get turned down for sure.
I thought the first offer. You always turn down the first offer, don't you? Is
Yeah.
that part of negotiations? You always turn down the first offer unless they give you a sweetheart deal, which I don't think they got a sweetheart deal. Because you know the owners aren't going to give them a sweetheart deal, so you know that's a fact. So
Yeah. Oh yeah. So Christopher says 3, 7, and 9 teams, and yeah. So the 7 and 9, 6, or 7 and 9, 10 and 6 teams are gonna, or you could see those teams squeak their way in. It's I don't know, man.
yeah, I just don't like adding more playoff teams, which is going to put an average team in the playoffs. So,
Yeah. Now, Coach K, I don't know if are they taking away a preseason game? I don't think
yeah,
so.
they are.
They're taking one, right?
They're one. They're only going to have 3 preseason games.
3 preseason games. All right. So they added, yeah. I wasn't sure if that actually went through.
That's what they did.
Okay, cool.
But it's still an odd number. I mean,
Leedy, I'm one. Hey, man, I'm with you. That CBA should have never went through. That should have never passed. Nope.
Because somebody will win the division or lose the division because of a home game.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And we do. Hey, I'm telling you, man, the legal tampering period starts Monday. That's 3 hours from now.
Oh, really?
So I believe Monday is the legal tampering. When legal tampering starts, that's when people can start making offers.
Oh yeah, legal. I like how you put legally tampering. Like they haven't been talking with one another.
Now, I don't know about you, Goose, but since we're talking NFL, let's some offers have already started to drop. I don't know if you've heard the Tannehill. Yep, the Ryan Tannehill. Tannehill's going to make over 20. I think it's $29.5 million a year, and I think it's 118 overall.
Wow.
I don't know about you, but in my opinion, Goose, that is a massive overpay.
I think so. Yeah, I think he's a good quarterback, but I don't think he's an elite quarterback.
That's taking an 11 game sample. Yeah. And just taking all your chips at the table, and the Titans are all in with Tannehill, because if he doesn't perform next year and doesn't continue to grow, they're toast. With the money that they're paying him, they are toast.
I mean, he was okay. He was okay at Texas A&M, but I mean, I didn't think he'd be anything spectacular when he went to school at A&M. Because they were pretty much a Derrick Henry team. Derrick Henry's a great running back. So give him the ball 30 times a game. He'll get you 200 yards.
So Coach K says not a big fan, but it's a backloaded deal. I just hope he doesn't revert back to what he did at Miami. I'm telling you, the Titans took a huge risk with that contract. That's a big risk, man. That's a real big big risk, because you don't 11 games in the totality of things. That's not a lot, man.
Yeah,
that's not a lot.
Agree, man.
I'm just saying for the Titans, that's a big risk. That's just a big risk. It could if Tannehill continues to play at that same level that he did the last 11 games, and continues to grow, and they give him, let's say they draft a few offensive linemen this year to really protect him and give him time in the pocket. Tennessee once again could be dangerous. To me, I mean, I'm not a Titan fan, but just looking at the team from the outside in, I think if they had a couple of I think if they drafted some defensive, some solid defensive backs and maybe a couple of interior offensive linemen, like 2 guards, maybe a guard or later on, I think they could be pretty dangerous.
Yeah, they made it further than I thought they would in playoffs. I mean, they made it to the title game, so they beat your boys pretty good.
No, pretty good. They beat them up. They beat them up bad. The Patriots couldn't stop them.
Yeah.
They couldn't. The Pats couldn't. Like, I was losing my mind watching that game because Tennessee was going up and down the field effortlessly. Effortlessly. Yeah. There was no resistance from the Patriots whatsoever. It was.
And Titans defense was just putting the clamps down on Brady.
I know. The Titans, to me, are their offseason this year is going to be very interesting because they could be a very strong team with very minimal moves made. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Minimal moves could put them right back into contention again.
Yeah. I got to get me another brewski. Be right back.
All right, man. Go for it.
Okay.
But I know I got some Tennessee fans in here. What's up, Coach Plays? How you doing, brother? The other Coach K. That is true, though, Coach. Now that they don't need to overpay for Henry. That is very true. And Coach Plays, I agree with you on that. Mariota is probably gone with the payment to Ryan Tannehill. I definitely agree there. Christopher, we are going to get into that. We're going to get into that in a little bit. In a couple of minutes. As soon as Goose gets back, we are going to dive into that. But the Brady situation's interesting, though, man. Like I said, I don't want to really give you my thoughts yet because I want to get Goose in on this and kind of get his feeling about the whole Brady situation. But once again, guys, the legal tampering period for the NFL starts up tomorrow. I believe it's tonight at midnight. I believe it's Monday. So tonight at midnight, the legal tampering period in which teams can start talking to players will be open. What's up, Double A? Arter in the house. What's up, man? What's up, Danny Martins? How you doing, brother?
All right, I'm back. Had to go get me a brewski. All right.
There you go. So let's kind of address the goat in the room.
What's that, man?
So to speak.
Oh, you mean Joe Montana?
Smart ass.
I'm a Joe Montana kind of guy. I'm 40. I'll be 44 this June. So I grew up watching Joe Montana. So, but I do think Brady's. I think he's better than Joe Montana. but Joe Montana was really good though.
No, you can make an argument, man. They're two of the best to ever play the game.
I mean,
they're two of the best to ever play the game.
I mean,
what's up, Dragons Butterfly Sports Reaction? Rich in the house. What's up, Danny Martins? I see you guys.
Joe never lost in the big game. He never threw interception in the big game either. So,
it's
Brady was very close to losing at Seattle. If Pete Carroll had any kind of brain,
run the stinking ball. I would have given it to Marshawn Lynch all four times. Yeah. I'd have handed it to him. You're telling me with 4 attempts, Marshawn Lynch couldn't get 2 yards, especially in his prime when he was? Yeah. Dude, come on. I would have said nobody's getting this football except for Marshawn Lynch. All 4 tries.
Yeah. And they throw a stupid slant pass that because that's I don't want to derail the stream, but that's a bad play because too many bad things can happen. The ball can get tipped by a line in the air. You do the high percentage play, you run the ball, and you win the game. So.
Yeah. But, oh yeah, man.
So I know you're a Tom Brady guy. I'm sure you were a Patriot fan in the '90s. When they stunk, right?
Yep. Hey, the coach plays $2.99 donation. Thank you, brother. Dono hype in the house.
I'm sure there's some people.
You the man, coach. Love you too, bro. You the man. My country brother out there in Tennessee. Thanks for the donation, man. Much appreciated.
There's some people out there that have never seen the Patriots, suck. And yes, they did stink at one time. The Patriots were really
they were. Hey, I remember, Goose, you want to take it back? You want to take a trip down Butcher's memory lane. Let's go back, man. I remember going to a Super Bowl party for the Packers and the Patriots.
I remember that. I remember that's when
Favre and Bledsoe played each other.
That was in the Superdome.
Favre and Bledsoe played each other, and I was heartbroken when the Packers just absolutely took apart the Patriots. So
I remember that's when Brett Favre won his only Super Bowl. So,
I know
that was in the dome. That was in the Superdome. That was what 95, 96 season.
96.
96 season. Okay. Yeah, 95. Right, 95 was the Cowboys' last.
Yep, 95. It was the 96-97 season.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, 96, 97 season.
Now, so like I said, let's address the GOAT in the room.
Okay, go ahead.
What do you so I got some I'm gonna pull up, first of all, guys, the audio is coming. I gotta give credit to the audio, to the original creators, so I don't get in trouble.
Yeah.
So the audio is courtesy of 98.5 The Sports Hub in Boston. It's the radio show up in Boston. The clips that you're going to get to hear are all courtesy of them. So all credit goes to them. I don't own any of these clips. So that's a disclaimer for you guys. And I just want to, they're about 20 seconds each clip, and I'm going to play them, and I will get your reaction, and I'll give you mine.
Let's go, man.
All right. So we'll start with the first one. Let me just make sure I got the right clip. All right, so yep, hold on. I'm going to play this audio, and I want to get your reaction. Rich, if the stream gets taken down, it gets taken down, and I'll see you guys in a week. But I also have credit to the radio station that the original content is from in the description box. So, like I said, I don't own any of these clips.
Sufficient enough for that.
I don't own any of these clips. These all belong to 98.5 The Sports Hub, the radio station in Boston, and I believe it's the Felger and Maz show from the radio stations up here in Boston. But so they own all of the clips. This is just, I want to get your reaction and my reaction to what you think about this.
A different coaching staff, another culture that might shock him. He says, unless the plan calls for him training an offensive coordinator and in essence becoming co-offensive coordinator, starting quarterback wherever he goes, why would Brady want to start over at a point in his career when his skills are slipping? So this is the Patriots' pitch. Yeah. It's nothing about what we could do for you and why this is good. It's, Tom, why would you want to start all over?
So what do you think?
Okay, I mean, right. Tom's not 25 years old anymore, man. I mean, none of us are 25. I'm not 25 anymore. So yeah, why would he want to go start over somewhere else unless you can get a sweetheart team like San Francisco? Now, that team can win next year with Brady. That team would probably win, like when Peyton went to the Broncos with that awesome defense. So they got railroaded by Seattle that one year, but then they beat Carolina. But right, unless Tom goes to a team that's loaded with talent, I think he's going back to New England. I mean, either New England or retire. I don't think he's going to go anywhere else because, like you said, he's 42.
Going to be 43.
43. Okay, so I mean, your body. I mean, I'm not an athlete, but I'm still gonna be 44. You don't heal as fast as you are when you're 25. So, right, I don't see why he would want to go somewhere else and start over. That scenario, right? He's not gonna go to somebody and start over. That's not gonna happen. He might go, but I heard Frisco was out.
So. This is what they're saying. The Patriots in reality don't. That's their that's their pitch though. They haven't offered him big money. You know,
They
like
have not.
they haven't offered him. I mean, the best offer they could come up with was 30 mil for 2 years and only like 15 or 18 of it guaranteed. You know, the offer was not that. He's looking for the guaranteed money. That's
Yeah.
what he's looking for.
Okay,
And
he's
it's
broke.
in his eyes it's disrespectful to like you know what ultimately it's not, you know what it's really not, you know what it's, what's going to be a sad fact for Patriot fans to kind of come to terms with if it's true. If all this time Brady just wanted Belichick to admit that it's the two of them and not,
This is, yeah.
give him a little give him a little a little nudge and just say, Tom, without you the 6 rings,
What happened? Yeah.
wouldn't have happened. That's all he's looking for, that, and Belichick, it's crazy though because he's treating him like any other player.
Right.
They did it with Richard Seymour. They did it with Vince Wilfork. Players that were beloved in New England and for the Patriots. They treat them with like they're any other normal player. And if there was one situation in which Bill could, maybe cave a little bit, maybe not money wise, but just say like, Tom, like without you, the 6 rings, it probably wouldn't have happened, man.
Yeah.
Like just give him a little bit of a nudge, and it's crazy though to see that.
Yeah, the Saints played. This was. I'm going back. When Bobby Abrams played back in the mid '90s, and they played hardball with him, and he went to the Falcons. They played hardball with Morton Anderson. Morton Anderson left the Saints, went to the Falcons, because they didn't want to pay them. This was when free agency was first coming out. Back in those days, when you got signed with a team, you stayed there for 15 years. I mean, you didn't move. So. Right, the Saints had that problem in the mid '90s. That's when Jim Mora. That's when his reign started to end. When they didn't re-sign Bobby Hebert. They didn't sign Morton Anderson. But yeah, right. Is it Tom or is it Bill or is it both?
It's if you want my opinion, it's both.
It's gotta be both. Was it Joe Montana or was it Bill Walsh? Come on. I think it was both. I think Bill Walsh found him a quarterback in Joe Montana that could run his system, and Joe Montana ran that system that West Coast offense to perfection. Just like Belichick, he found Tom Brady to run his offense, and Tom Brady has run that to perfection since 2001.
Yeah, it's both. To me, it's both. You combine Brady's maniacal attitude to be the best, right?
Yeah.
And then you put a coach like Belichick who just wants to win and wants, he once again, he wants to be the best. So the two of them the combination of the two is what makes them great. It's the sum of the parts.
Let's look at LSU. Was it Joe Burrow or was it Joe Brady while the LSU offense was so great last year? I think it was both. Because now you'll find what Joe Brady has because he'll be at Carolina.
Yeah.
This season, so you'll find what kind of coach he is because he won't be in college, but I think he'll do very well in Carolina. I was there. I wanted to see him one more year at LSU just to see what he could have done without Joe Burrow.
Without Burrow behind him. Yeah. All right, Christopher. Have a good night, man. Hey, Rogue Dog in the house.
Rogue Dog popped in, man.
Rogue Dog says Goose looked like he ready to run on the field.
I am running the field.
All right, so we got one more clip coming in. Once again, guys, I got to just give the disclaimer. I don't own any of this audio. This is coming from 98.5 The Sports Hub, the local Boston radio station, and I believe it's from the Felger and Maz radio show. So once again, this is just a short clip from the Felger and Maz radio show, and I want to get Goose's reaction on what on the audio from the clip. So here we go again. Let me just make sure it's on the right clip.
Yeah, you don't play the wrong video, Bobby.
Yeah, I want to make sure I got the right clip. That's all.
Yeah, you don't want to play wife. You don't want to play wife and me. The wife and me video.
No, that's a no.
That's a no. All right, don't want to do that. Man. Scratch that one.
All right, there's music on in the background of that one, so I can't play one
Okay.
of them. So we got to cut that out.
Yeah, you can't have music because I didn't get a copyright strike, but I got a copyright claim on one of my I was doing
All right, so
one of the
this is a
baseball.
good. So this is
Okay,
one.
but
So we've been talking about the NFL guys, and according to multiple sources, this came over the new. This came over the once again 98.5 The Sports Hub. This was reported by them this afternoon on their afternoon radio show. And I will let you listen to that, Goose, and
sure.
get your thoughts on that.
Multiple people across the league now are anticipating that the start of the league year will not be moved, and it will start on time. Per sources, there are still ongoing conversations, and it still could change, but there is a different tone from teams, as if it is happening now.
So that is in reference to the NFL league year.
Yeah, I heard conflicting stories about some teams don't want it to start on time, some do. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see if it does start on time, but they do think it will. So, what's your thought? You think it's gonna start on time or delayed?
I think they have the best chance of starting it on time.
Yeah.
I
Now,
do.
will it-
I think. I
now,
think.
will it-
I think they. I think they stand the best possible chance of starting as usual. Like
Right.
they might. You might miss the draft and the rookie premiere and that kind of stuff, but outside of you're talking like boots on ground players practicing and the NFL kind of resuming normal activities. I think they're safe. I think they're pretty safe.
They got the best chance because their season is not in session right now, like NBA, NHL, a lot of college, college baseball, college track and field, college, so like they're not in session right now. So they got the best chance of starting on time and not having any interruptions, barring any kind of setback with this COVID-19.
Yeah, that's just my thoughts. To me, they stand, like I said, they stand the best possible chance of starting on time.
So I want to get your we talked off camera about what the CD recommended about 50 or more gatherings being not happening until mid-June. So let's just say that happens. Let's say we have no gatherings of 50 or more people until mid-June. How does that affect the NHL, the NBA, and the NFL?
Mm-hmm. If it does go that far.
Go that far.
You're both, all those sports are going to have to, like, the NBA is going to be in really, they're going to be in hot water because it's how do you handle that? How do you do you, like we said, do you kind of act like the season just got paused and you pick it up
where it left off, right?
Where it left off, or do you do you kind of go with what we talked about before, and you run the risk of making a lot of these other teams, these bubble teams that are on the bubble, and not only them but their fan bases as well. Do you run the risk of making them mad and just saying, you know what, guys, unfortunately the season
season is short.
This is the standings where it stands right now because we don't have enough time in a year to it would be a scheduling and logistical nightmare for
right, because like we discussed off camera, some cities have two teams playing in one arena.
Mm-hmm.
So how are they going to work out? I just don't know how they in that scenario. Let's say it goes to mid-June. The NBA and NHL might just say, you know what, season's done. They'll just cancel like when Major League Baseball canceled the World Series in '94.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I have hopes. I have hopes that they will be able.
I don't think that's going to happen. Though. I don't think it's going to go to mid-June.
Yeah, I have hopes that they'll be able to get it under control to the point where normal sports activities can resume. That's my hope. I hope.
And another question I have for you is, There is. We haven't discussed this yet, but there is one casinos. How much money are they losing without betting?
Yeah. Look at
And when are they going to force these leagues' hands to, hey, look, guys, you got to start the season back up?
Oh, you know ever since sports betting came, like the sports betting, they're going to have a say. Vegas is going to have a say. They're going to say we're losing.
Billions.
Think about what each one of those casinos on the strip in Vegas
All right.
is losing daily.
Even the ones in Mississippi that have sports betting. I'm sure for March Madness they were going to make a killing over there on the bettings. So we don't have it here in Louisiana for some reason because our politicians are a bunch of idiots because they can't find a way to pass the law and make money, on the side. So they haven't figured out that way yet. Then once they do that, then they'll pass the sports betting.
Yeah, how to tip the table in their favor.
Yeah. Mississippi, they went and they did their thing and they got sports betting and so but yeah, these casinos are losing. I mean, because March Madness was a huge sports betting. All the brackets. How many brackets did people fill out for March Madness and bet on? How many?
A lot. A lot.
I mean, the average person filled out how many brackets?
Like we didn't yet. Like that's something we didn't touch on. Like the NCAA is going to get crushed with this.
Yeah.
Like they canceled March Madness for not only the men and the women.
And the women's. Yeah.
Both sides of it. You know what I mean? So like, and the NCAA's. I mean, they're set to lose a lot of money in this.
And they've also canceled. They've all canceled all spring and winter championships. That means college baseball.
Yeah.
Done.
Yep.
College track and field done. I mean, yeah, it's not really a big deal in the grand scheme of things, but some of these players are seniors, man. This is their final season.
Yeah.
So now they're going to graduate and they're not going to have their senior season. It's going to be gone.
I know.
That's the travesty. Is their senior years are going to be gone and they're not going to have that. They can't get that back.
Oh, I know, man.
Unless the NCAA passes some kind of law where they can come back for their senior year, and it's not going to hurt like the scholarship limits because all these teams have scholarship limits they can't go over. So if they put all these seniors back on teams, well, that's going to put teams over the limit. Over
the roster limit. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's not fair. I think the NC2A should come back and say, you know what? If the seniors want to come back, they can come back for the senior year, and it's not going to affect the roster limit for the following year. Now, the next year, it's going to go back to whatever what the normal figures are. So, but again, one more thing about the March Madness. Did you hear what Mark Emmert said about the why they canceled the March Madness? It's because of Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert is why they decided to cancel March Madness. If that hadn't happened, they were going to play all those games, but no fans.
Yeah.
And they probably were going to have to move the Final Four because the Final Four was going to be in the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in Georgia. In Georgia, I mean, you can't have that. You can't have that in. They probably would have to move that to some kind of smaller arena, but
yeah.
So Rudy Gobert is screwed it all, man.
So coach says they are letting seniors have another year of eligibility for spring sports like baseball. They have not decided basketball yet. So
basketball. Some teams their season ended already.
Yeah.
So basketball, but baseball they should do. Basketball will be kind of hard because some teams' season ended already. So I think it'd be kind of hard for them to do it with basketball. But baseball or track and field or whatever spring sports are going on right now, softball, women's softball. Yeah, they should grant them another year of eligibility and not count against the scholarship cap.
Yeah,
because it's not their fault.
There's a lot like in. So I talked about this before with the coach and with the sport with Rich from the Sports Reaction, and it's the players union. The owners have basically said that this is I said I remember we were talking about this that they were going to try and look for an out to not pay these athletes. Remember
you're talking
this?
about the doomsday scenario. Well, it's in the contracts.
It is
It's
in the
it's
contract.
in the
So how much of a shitstorm is that going to be for, like, because they're gonna, if this is a month without pay, like that's
right.
the players unions and them are going to be, they're going to have to talk at some point.
Yeah, because let's just say that, the doomsday happens. It goes to mid-June where there's no sports, and these players aren't getting paid. Well, the owners might say, "You know what? We can't pay you because we've had no games since March. We can't pay you, so we're going to enact our doomsday clause in the contract, so we're not paying you." So, and they're probably. I mean, of course, I'm not a contract law expert, but I'm sure the owners are in their very legal right to not pay them, and the court will probably uphold it.
Mm.
But
If sports, if the if these sports do start resuming, I mean, I would. You could just say, all right, we're going to test the athletes themselves, the coaches, the trainers, the only essential personnel are allowed. No media, and just the broadcast, the broadcast team, like like I would take that, like as long as the people that are involved in the game are tested thoroughly and they I think we are going to start seeing that's going to be the turning point. If they say, all right, we think we have a handle on this to the point where we'll bring it to you guys, but we just can't bring it to you with no fan,
right.
you know what I mean? And once we see that domino fall, I think it's going to be a good sign.
Well, you did see another player tested positive, right?
Rudy Gobert. Right? I mean, no.
Christian Wood out of Pistons. I believe.
On the Pistons, right?
Yeah, Pistons. Yeah, Christian Wood. He tested positive for the COVID-19. That's the only thing that's going to derail this is if more players, fall ill.
Yeah.
From this. If they can just if they can just not have any more, then right, then we'll have a better chance of resuming play with no fans.
Now the MLB's let's kind of dive into that, man. Since you covered a lot of the Astros last year.
Yeah. I'm not this year, but
no, I know
obvious reasons.
No, obviously. I just want to get your like what are your thoughts on that whole situation? Because the Red Sox are involved in it too. They were caught cheating too, man.
I mean, see, I'm not like a baseball diehard fan like you are, or maybe Bad Dog is with the Yankees. I mean, is sign stealing really that big of a deal? I mean, or is it just the way they went about it?
I think it was the way to me personally, sign stealing and picking up on the signs of the other teams, like that's been going around forever. It was more the way in which they did it made them look in that situation just made them look really bad.
Because if you look at like football, you watch film, these offensive tendencies or defensive tendencies. I just wondered, is it just the way they did it with the trash cans and where they just? Like I said, I'm not really a baseball diehard fan. I just didn't know if it was just the way they went about it was wrong. Because right, sign stealing. Come on, everybody's been trying to steal a sign, man. I mean, everybody wants to get a competitive advantage. Everybody does. I mean, it's just the way it is. But so what's going to happen with the Red Sox? Because the Red Sox haven't felt the brunt of the.
They still haven't given us a punishment. It hasn't been dished out yet.
Yeah.
Now it hasn't been announced publicly, but I guarantee the Red Sox already know what their punishment's going to. I mean, obviously they got rid of they fired Cora and they those.
Did they get rid of what about the GM, the general manager? Did they jump? Is the GM still there?
He left. He left.
Was that Dombrowski?
It was Dombrowski, but Heimblum. They have a new GM in there, Heimblum.
Yeah.
But they got rid of Cora. But I mean, those dominoes have already fallen. But as of like a punishment, it hasn't been dished out yet. So Coach Plays said a New Jersey, a hockey player from New Jersey tested positive for it, and then I believe somebody farther up. Hold on, let me backtrack a little bit, and I can find that.
There was an XFL player that tested positive from Seattle team.
And then so athletes are testing positive for it now.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
a
Bobby,
a Yankees minor leaguer also tested positive for it.
Bobby, like I said, people are going to get they're going to. I mean, it should be not alarming that people are getting sick from this. The people are going to get sick from this. It's just, I mean, majority of the people that are healthy, they take care of themselves, they are going to recover
from it. Yeah.
You are not going to die.
Yeah.
If you're healthy and you take the medicine. People with pre-existing conditions, like older people that have respiratory issues.
Yeah.
Yes, unfortunately, they
stand a better. They don't stand.
Chance of maybe not surviving it, unfortunately. But I mean, is it? Cause my wife's a nurse. I asked her. I said, is it really this bad? I mean, is it serious? She said, well, I mean, it's a virus, so I mean, it's a serious, yes, to an extent. But I mean, if people would just like wash their hands, be clean, the virus has a less chance to spread.
Yeah.
If people would just be sanitary.
You just got to be smart about it. Just be smart about it.
Yeah. I mean, it's just nothing. It's nothing that.
It's going to be interesting though, Goose, because like, the Astros have obviously been punished. They were dealt a. They kind of dropped the hammer on them, and I assume.
You think? I mean, because I'm not really I'm not really. I don't follow baseball that big. So I know they lost some draft picks and they got fined. But how much did they get fined? Like $1 million? Probably $1 million, was it?
I think. I know that I know the MLB dropped the hammer on them pretty heavily.
They lost a first-round pick or a second-round pick or both?
I know I'm pretty sure they lost a first. Pretty sure.
Yeah, they should. I mean, you got to make an example out of somebody that cheats. So.
It's gonna be I'm sure they're gonna change the way they look for they'll probably implement some stuff this year. But once again, we kind of dove into it last stream a little bit that baseball's probably going to be delayed a little. All this stuff is it's just if it goes longer than these people think, it's going to be a logistical nightmare because Fenway has they have for at least the Red Sox where the Sox play they have concerts there. It's
outside.
Yeah, it's I'm telling you, it's not going to be pretty.
At Fenway.
Yeah.
At Fenway? Okay.
It's not going to be pretty, man. But I do.
Yeah, because like I said, the place in New Orleans, the Smoothie King Center, they have concerts there. They have concerts are shut down right now because of this COVID-19. But right, they have wrestling events every now and again. They have concerts, other than just the Pelicans. So luckily, we don't have an NHL team to cause any more problems. But I mean, like I said, like with you guys, I mean, it's going to be a logistical nightmare with the Bruins and the Celtics playing in the same arena. How are you going to play all those games that are made up?
So Coach Plays put this up. I mean, no, not Coach Plays. The other Coach K. That's okay. They would have. They people would have if they said we screwed they tried to hide it, man. That's what happens when you try and that's what happens when you try and hide it. It's just
it was kind of a BS kind of apology. It was kind of like when your girlfriend caught you cheating. Oh, I'm sorry, baby. I won't do it again.
Yeah, no, I know.
That's the kind of apology it came across as. Like, I'm sorry, I won't do it again.
No, I know. It's.
And I did see where he put Gig'em on the comments. I did see that.
And me, so personally, I mean, just to get into baseball real quick,
Yeah,
I mean,
baseball. Yeah, I mean,
I
if you look baseball, I mean, what they say They said 2 weeks at
two,
least.
yeah, at least 2 weeks. They're pushing it back.
So, do you think it's be 4? You think it'd be a month?
I see when they say stuff like that, you have to give them. You know, I mean, all these estimates that come, like they're just
That's
they're
the
that's
best case scenario.
yeah, it's best case scenario. So you got to figure if they're thinking, okay, we'll push it back 2 weeks. I almost guarantee you that they're planning on a month.
Yeah, and probably beginning of May, maybe.
They're planning on a month. So in most of the baseball season, I think is going to be safe. Like
Yeah.
it's just the two sports that are just going to be absolutely crushed by this thing. Like we talked about before, are the
Hockey and
and
basketball.
yeah, hockey and
Because
basketball,
they play in the same arena.
and it's
Like you said, because sometimes it's because you got to if you transfer from ice to basketball or back and forth, it takes time. But I did watch a video because I remember last video you were talking about it.
yeah,
When the Kings and the Lakers played, they showed a video because they had a game during the afternoon. I think it was the Lakers, and then they had transferred to ice that night. Boy, they can do it fast if they want to, but I still think it takes pretty much a coordinated effort to do that.
yeah, oh yeah.
Because you got to move this. Because I think you got to move the seat. Because the seats go in or out from hockey. Is it in? Is
Um, they they're I believe I don't know what they do in the Garden per se, but I know the seats are different colors for the Celtics
and the Bruins?
and the Bruins. They're black and gold for the Bruins, and they're green for the Celtics. So
Yeah.
they
That's interesting.
it's like I said, it's going to be a logistical nightmare. It will be a logistical nightmare to for these teams if this thing lasts longer than their best case scenario projections. But
Yeah.
what do you so let's go back to football a little bit.
Sure. NFL? Let's go.
Let's go back to the NFL a little bit. So I've heard mixed reports on Burrow from all over.
Yeah.
Like people say he's going to be extremely successful. People say that they don't have confidence that his game is going to
Transform the NFL.
translate.
Yeah.
Translate. I've read reports from either side. You name it. These from either side. So which side of that are you on? Do you think Burrow is going to transfer well to the NFL, or do you think he's going to struggle?
Well, let's look at what he had here at LSU. He had Jamar Chase as a receiver. He probably would have been drafted if he was draft eligible. Justin Jefferson will come out. Jefferson will be a first round pick this season. Terrace Marshall, he was a sophomore, so he can't come out, so he has to stay one more year. But Randy Moss's son, Thaddeus Moss, the tight end,
Mm-hmm.
he'll probably get drafted. And he had supposedly they won the best offensive line award in college football. So you have all that. I mean, he had a lot of talent around him. So if he has talent around him, yes, I think he'll do very well. If he's in a situation where he has no offensive line, he has no running back, he has no really number one receiver to throw the ball to. Well, yeah, I think he'll struggle. Like anybody would.
Yeah, no. If he's going to it, here's the thing: if the Bengals are looking at him to be the savior of the team, and the next guy, and like they can't just say, okay, Joe, here
Okay, Joe, here you go, man.
here you go. Here's your team, and you got and there's nothing for him to work with. It's gonna it could kind of be a situation similar, with Brady. Like there was a talented guy. Brady's a talented quarterback. A talented quarterback. He can, he's an accurate thrower. Like what I mean. And he struggled because he didn't have much to work with.
Yeah, what's he gonna do his first year? Probably not that well. I mean,
If the Bengals do draft Burrow, which that's
they should.
They have to they have to shore up their offensive line. The guy's got to have time to throw the ball, and they have to give him some kind of talent to work with.
Yeah, you got to have a good running back. You got to have you got to have a number one receiver. I think AJ Green is getting up there in age, so I don't know if he wants to be there. I'm not sure because wasn't he out most of the year? He was out most of the year last year. AJ Green wasn't he?
Yes.
Was he hurt or was he hurt? Was he hurt?
Hurt, yeah.
Hurt, yeah.
So the other Coach K agrees pretty much with what we just said. You got to put him in a spot to succeed. You have to put him in a spot to succeed, and if he's dropped in the right system, he'll be fine. He'll be fine.
Yeah, he's got to have talent. Drew Brees is what Drew Brees is because he has good receivers. He has a running back, good run. He had Mark Ingram. He had Pierre Thomas. He's had Alvin Kamara. He's had great running backs. He's had Colson.
And he's still playing at a high level.
He's had great receivers that can get open. He's had Devery Henderson, Colson. He's had Michael Thomas. So he's had great receivers to throw the ball to. Look at all the good quarterbacks in the league that have been great. Why are they great? Because they have talent. Look what Joe Montana had. Joe Montana had everybody to throw the ball to.
Yep.
Now, I'll give Brady credit. Brady really hasn't had the receivers Joe Montana had. He didn't have Jerry Rice. He didn't have John Taylor. He didn't have Tom Rathman. Brent Jones. He didn't have that kind of a talent. Brady has done more with less than a lot of quarterbacks. Great quarterbacks. If you look at it, because have you had a Jerry Rice in your team since he's been there?
I want to say.
I'm trying to think.
I want to say the biggest receiver he's got to throw to was Randy Moss, the most talented at least. When he had Moss, that was by far the most talented receiver he's had to throw to.
Has he been with any Hall of Fame receiver?
Randy Moss.
Besides Moss. Because Moss was traded there. Briscoe drafted Rice. So, but other than Moss, has he had any Hall of Fame receivers to throw the ball to?
I don't think so. Coach plays Deion Branch. He was good, but he's not a Hall of Famer. Terry Glenn, very good receiver. Yeah. I don't outside of Moss, that's the if you're talking 5-star Hall of Fame receiver, that's the only real, Hall of Fame receiver that he's got to throw to his whole career.
Yeah, because Montana had he had a bunch of them. Look at his career. He had Dwight Clark, Freddie Solomon. He's had a bunch of receivers to throw the ball to. He was fortunate enough. Look, maybe he made them look good. I don't know because he was a great quarterback. So I'm sure he had a lot to do with their success too. It goes hand in hand. It's not just one player makes the team. So,
Coach Plays brought up a question, and I wanna ask you a question. So, get kind of a non-Homer point of view, or a non-Patriot fan point of view.
Yeah, none.
So Deion was pretty good. Yes, he was. Edelman is good, but I agree with that, right? So his comment about Edelman does Julian Edelman make the Hall of Fame?
Ooh, probably not. I haven't really looked at his stats.
You want me to give you a little fun fact?
Go ahead.
He has the second best playoff stats behind Jerry Rice.
Really?
The second best playoff stats behind Rice.
But Jerry Rice is, widely known as the best receiver of all time. or one of the best, one of the very best. He was very very good. But I didn't know that he was second. Wow.
So, hey, True North, how you doing, man? Welcome to the stream. So, True
I'm
North,
gonna give you another beer. I'll be right back, man. All right.
all right, True North due south. Welcome to the stream, man. TB12 or Tampa Bay? That's very True North. That's an interesting comment, man. We can touch on that a little bit too. I want to say that recent reports have come out not only in Tampa Bay but down here in up here in New England and down in Tampa Bay, that the Buccaneers have pretty much said to the Tampa Bay media, and it's made its way up into the Boston media as well, that they are all in on Tom Brady. They are willing to pay him whatever he wants. They're willing to give him whatever he wants to get him down there. To me, it's a matter of, does Tom Brady want to go to Tampa Bay? Because I don't know if it's all about winning for Brady. I don't think Tampa Bay's set up to win a Super Bowl. I don't think he can get to the Super Bowl with Tampa Bay. I don't think that. The team that he would probably be able to get to at least probably get to at least the AFC title game and get to face off against Mahomes with would probably be the Titans. The one thing that scares me about the Patriots is their team is set to lose a lot of guys in free agency in fear of losing a lot of guys to free agency, because there's teams out there that are going to offer them a lot of money. Jamie Collins is up for contract. Kyle Van Noy's contract is up. Joe Tooney's contract is up. David Karras' contract is up, who was the backup for David Andrews. So maybe I hope that they can get David Andrews back. But there is a lot of people's contracts up on the Patriots that are key members to this team, and they are in danger of losing them to better offers. So
I'm back, Bobby.
It's interesting. So someone at True North Due South asked, okay, is it TB12 or TB Tampa Bay? Because, and I was just saying that Tampa Bay has,
I thought Tampa Bay is one of the teams that could possibly
Tampa Bay has basically told the media, Goose, that they have told the media, not only the Tampa Bay media but the national media, that they're all in on Tom Brady. They will give him.
Let's look who the quarterback they have right now, and they got a guy who threw 30 interceptions last season.
30 interceptions and 30 touchdowns.
I mean, Tampa Bay isn't that far off for being good. If they had a quarterback last season, they probably could have won the division over the Saints. They definitely would have made the playoffs. They definitely would have made the playoffs if they had a quarterback last season, because 30 interceptions, man, that's insane.
Yeah,
that's insane.
Yeah,
that's putting your team behind the eight ball every single game, and that you're not going to recover.
It's 2 picks a game.
Yeah, that's 2 picks a game. He said he threw 30 touchdown passes.
Yeah, so two picks and 2 interceptions a game.
30 touchdown passes is awesome.
But here's it's once again it's so they said, Goose. They said Tampa Bay has made this 100%.
Bobby, they got a good team. They got a good. If they had a quarterback, they would have made the playoffs last season.
I don't know. I just.
Well, let's just say Crab Legs would have cut his
the crab burglar
15 to 15. If he threw 15 interceptions and 30 touchdown passes, they'd have made the playoffs.
So it's just interesting though, because now that the Titans are out of the market for Brady, right?
Because they paid Tannehill, so they are done.
They're out. They're out. So the Bucs are, they've said we are willing to give Tom Brady whatever he needs to come down here. We're willing to pay him. We're willing to give control of the roster. We're willing to work the coaching staff.
How many more years does he have? I mean, because like Drew Brees, how many more years does he have? 2?
I think he can play at a somewhat high level for 2 more.
2? I mean, 2. Barn, he has a running game and an offensive line.
That's what I'm saying. I think he can still deliver the football at a high level. Now the coach plays. This is a good one. What do you think about this one, Goose?
What's that? Could put a Tannehill for his next team. Winston has great talent, just needs. He does right. If he'd have thrown half the interceptions this season, in 30 and 15, how much more better would Tampa Bay have been last season? Or a lot better. Tampa would have made the playoffs. If he half, I mean 15 is still a lot of interceptions. That's more than one. That's a little less than one a game, but that's still a lot. But I mean, come on, Bobby, 30.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, it's
30 is just
30 is it's a lot. And then
your team is going to stink.
yeah, no,
I don't
no,
care
I know.
how good your defense is. But
I mean the Bucks are a solid team, and would Brady make them better? Absolutely. Would they probably make the playoffs and possibly win that division? They might.
I mean, because look, Drew. I mean, well, we'll get to my number 9. My number 9, my other number 9 in a minute. I got two number 9s, but I mean, I think Brady would make them a playoff team and make them a very serious contender in the NFC South. Because I think Carolina will be much better next season. It's gonna be curious with how what they do with Cam Newton. Cam Newton, he's been there for what, since the 2011 season, I believe.
Yeah.
2008. Auburn won the title in 2010. He came out in 2011, so not really that long. But he was injured all last season. Plus, he's a head case.
Yep.
He's very, very talented. He was very talented at Auburn, and that's why they won the national championship, because of him. I think he probably thought in the NFL that he could just out scheme people and out talent people.
Yep.
But he's still a good quarterback. I think Cam Newton could be a very, very good quarterback. But
I tell you one thing, right?
I don't know if he has it upstairs to be there.
I tell you one thing: the Saints with Drew Brees, and then the Buccaneers with Tom Brady in the same. So Brady and Brees in the same division.
Man, the same division. But man,
that would be so. What's that? That's the AFC South, right?
NFC.
So the NFC South would be awfully. I mean, that would probably be. Think about that. You guys would get to see Brady, twice a year.
Twice a year. Yeah. We should have seen it a few years ago, but we won't go into that.
So, Cody, yes, he is. That's so. Cody, in the chat, he said Devin is back. He said yes, he is. The Patriots have they're going to sign Devin McCourty. They're going to make sure that he retires a Pat.
Well, I think I did see.
So Devin McCourty will be back with the Patriots. For those of you who don't know, they are trying to punch out a deal right now to make sure that he retires a Patriot, along with Matt Slater. Slater is also back.
Yeah. So let's get to my number 9 in the black and gold number 9.
All right, let's talk some Drew Brees.
All right, so Drew Brees. Everybody saw his last game when I thought, my opinion, he was one of the reasons why they lost that playoff game. I didn't think he played. I thought he played horrible. I think he threw a bad interception. He fumbled the ball when they were driving down the field late in the game. They were lucky to get the ball back and tie it up. I thought he looked horrible, and looked horrible and old in that playoff game. Now, some of it may have been Sean Payton's reluctance to run the ball with Adrian Murray. I thought that once when Kamara was hurt, when Alvin Kamara was hurt, and Drew Brees was hurt, when they both were hurt, Sean Payton he finally got some smarts in him and run the football, and they won 5 straight games in a row. They won. They beat Seattle. They beat Dallas. I mean, they won 5 with Teddy Bridgewater at quarterback when they were playing defense and they're running the football. So, of course, Drew Brees comes back against. My mind's I can't remember when he came back. It was before the Atlanta game because I remember they had the week off, and it was a week before the Atlanta game. Might have been Tampa that he came back in, and Drew Brees played well. And then that playoff game, they just looked like they just did not want to run the football with Murray.
Isn't it amazing though, right? Like Brady and Breeze, like they didn't look superhuman last year. You know what I mean? Like for all these years, you know,
Breeze looked good. Breeze looked good at times, but when in the playoff game, he looked horrible. Now, what kind of contract is he going to want this season? Now, I've heard reports that he's okay with doing a contract friendly deal, which honestly, Bobby, he has no choice because the Saints have no money.
Yeah,
they're in cap hell because they've been kicking the can down the road, They've been kicking the can down the road because they've been wanting to win a Super Bowl with Drew Brees and have him retire, go off in the sunset, and then they'll suck for a few years and everything will reset.
They'll try and They just want to send. They want to send. They wanted to send Drew. They're trying to send Drew out the right way.
And it almost happened in the Minnesota Miracle. It would have been interesting to see what we'd have done against. I don't think we'd have beaten Philadelphia in Philadelphia, but at least we would have had a chance. And then, of course, against the Rams, that was the final game. We would have gone. We would have gone to the big dance and played y'all, and it would have been Brady versus Breeze. Everybody would have.
That is the Super. Me and you said it. That is the Super Bowl that everybody wanted. Everybody wanted to see Brady and Breeze go at it.
Yeah, and it didn't happen. There's a lot of reasons why the Saints lost that game. It wasn't just because of that pass interference call. The Saints were up 10 points twice in that game. And plus, they led. They took a field goal on that possession. They were leading the game. They did not stop the Rams going down the field on that last drive. So there's a lot of blame to go around in that loss. More so, it was more than just the PI call that why they lost that game.
It was weird. I remember watching that game. It was weird. You saw Breeze make mistakes that you just.
He did make mistakes in the Rams game too.
No. I mean, just like he made mistakes that just weren't. They weren't. Like you don't see Drew Brees play like that when usually Brees handles. He's like Brady. That they're just when the pressure's on, they're calm, cool, collected. They do their thing. They deliver the football. Like it was just weird seeing both of those quarterbacks last year.
Last year.
Just look the way they did.
Yeah, Brady looked bad, and like I said, Drew. I think Drew was one of the reasons why they lost against the Vikings. Because he threw a bad interception, he fumbled the ball. It's 2 turnovers. You can't turn the ball over in the playoffs and win. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, no. It was just weird because like to me it was like you. I just remember watching it going, Breeze just does not look like him. He just does not look like himself.
Yeah, because in the playoffs, you pretty much now you're not going to be even because you're going to have a 7-9 team in the playoffs, but. I mean, most of these teams are, especially in the first round, the wild card round, they're pretty much, even. That's why I like the wild card rounds because those rounds are usually better. The divisional rounds are usually blowouts for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't get that. I don't get why the second round is always blowouts. So I don't know, but it'd be interesting to see what kind of contract Drew Brees agrees to, and how much money they have to sign their rookie deals. They have rookie deals that they got to sign, and they're going to have to go out. They are going to have with either draft or free agency. They're going to have to get a number 2 receiver because if they don't get a number 2 receiver, they will have the same fate as they've had the past 2 seasons. They will go out in the playoffs because they have to have somebody else besides Michael Thomas catching the football.
Yeah,
because.
You
have to have a number 2.
The teams that beat you guys, Goose, you saw what they did. They doubled Thomas and they dared him to beat. They dared him to beat him with anybody else. Right. Like it was.
And then Sean Payton wasn't smart enough to run the ball with Murray because Latavius Murray did pretty well in that time that he was the lead back when Kamara was hurt and Brees was hurt. He ran for 100 yards like 2 or 3 straight games. He ran for 100 yards against the Bears, the Jaguars, and with somebody else that he ran for 100 yards. And the Saints were playing defense at that time.
So somebody brought it up in the chat earlier. Do you think Kansas City goes back to the AFC title game and has a chance at winning going back to the Super Bowl?
Well, when's the last time someone went back to back? It's been what?
Brady.
You guys, huh?
The Pats, the Patriots.
Yeah, but that was the mid 2000s, right?
03-04.
Yeah, they won't repeat. Teams don't repeat.
See,
Teams don't repeat.
I'm not. See, you say that with some conviction. I don't know, man. I know it's real tough to do that, but
teams don't repeat now in free agency world.
But see, here's the thing, right? The Chiefs have, if they want to go back to back, they have a 2-year window this year and next year before the key players' contracts on their team start running out.
Right.
So
yeah,
if they want to go back to back, this is like their window's like this is it. Like and to be honest, it's the AFC is set up for them to at least get back into the playoffs.
They'll win their division.
You know what I mean? So they're at least going to get a first round, but like they could
will they get a bye? Because will they be number one in the conference?
I don't know, man. There'll probably be one or two because I don't have a lot of faith in Lamar Jackson playing at the level that he played at again.
Again.
So, because he played it at a ridiculous level.
It takes a lot of luck, Bobby. It takes a lot because you have to be healthy. You have to stay healthy. Everything has to bounce your way to win the big thing, the big dance.
There's a certain amount of luck, and there's a certain it's like you said, everything has to line up for you to
look at this. Look at the Saints. What when the Saints won there against the Colts in the Super Bowl? What if the onside kick is recovered by the Colts?
Mm-hmm.
Saints probably don't win that game.
Yep.
So it takes a lot of luck to win the big dance. So like you guys. Look at the Falcons. If the Falcons would have ran the ball,
I know But see, like it's kind of funny though because like and I'm really not trying to sound like I'm really not trying to crap on the rest of the NFL, but like these teams. Like they play the Patriots and they lose their mind. Like they'll come in on like a 4-game winning streak and they'll be playing really well, and they'll just come in and lose their mind and do something stupid in the last 8 or 10 minutes of the game.
Like Pete Carroll.
But that's what I'm saying. Like the Patriots have relied on these teams coming in and just like I don't want to say it, but it's just like the rest of the league being stupid. It's like. Like what, I've been to games at Gillette Stadium and watched live and been like, what are they doing? Like,
yeah,
like you just have to sit there and watch it and just shake your head. It's like they're beating them, like they're winning and I can't explain it. I don't know what happens, but it just these good solid teams come in there and they just lose their mind.
Yeah, I'm sure when it was 28-3, you said, "Well, it's over with. We're not winning."
That Super Bowl went from the lowest of lows to the highest of high.
I thought the Seattle game would be low to high.
Both of them. For the Seattle one, more so the Atlanta one. I remember I was sitting there for the Atlanta game in the third quarter. 3.5 minutes to go. And they were up 28-3, and I was just going, this is like, I was like, if it gets to the fourth quarter and they don't score, or they don't get the ball back and start driving like now, and that was like right before that 3-minute mark. It was like the 5-minute mark. I was like, they have to get the ball back and they have to put points up, or we're toast. We're toast. Yeah. I was losing. I was starting to lose faith, and they got the ball. They got the ball back, and they. It was just incredible to watch that.
Yeah, so I thought the Seattle game would be the most like high and low because I think you would have had your head in the sand
Yep.
when they were on the 1 yard line, and all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, wait, we just won.
When
Wait a minute.
when I saw Wilson drop back to throw the ball, I was like, these idiots. He dropped back to throw the ball, and I was like, I hope they pick it off just to teach him a lesson. Seriously, I was like, I hope they intercept it just to teach him a lesson.
Wow. I know. I remember watching. I was like, wait a minute, wait, what just happened? I said, they just lost. I said, what a bunch of idiots. Oh man. But
and then the Atlanta one was just insane. They came all the way back to tie it up, and then when they tied it up, I was like, it's over. They're going to overtime, and they're going to win this game.
It was done then. I said the Falcons are done now.
Yeah, when the Pats tied it up, when they tied it up, I was like, it's over. They're going to run this out. They're going to go to overtime, and we're going to win the game. It was like, and you saw what happened. Overtime, we got the ball. Would it take 4 minutes to go down the field?
Actually, I'll backtrack. You know what I knew was over? When Julio Jones caught that pass and they wouldn't run the ball.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's when I said the Falcons lost that game. Because if they were going up by 10 points, you would have lost. If they'd have made, because Matt Bryan can make it from 80 yards, he would have made the field goal, and they would have gone up by 10, and the game would have been over with. But Kyle Shanahan threw the ball and he got sacked, and knocked him out of field goal range, and then that was ball game.
What's up, Crisco? How you doing, man?
Crisco's in there. All right,
Crisco says, I do believe Burrow and Tua are the future of the NFL.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
Yeah, I think. I mean, if Tua was healthy,
Crisco wants to know. He wants to ask us a question. He says,
"Sure.
What round do y'all see Clyde Edwards,
the running back,
Hilaire going?"
The running back. So, man, because running backs. I mean, it's not a running back league anymore. I mean, maybe third round. I mean, possibly. I mean, see, his speed is really his. I mean, well,
Diesel, move your fat furry ass off my table.
His I guess his 40 speed really isn't that, quick, but his football speed is pretty good. I mean, he's got football moves that makes you you can have football moves and you can move pretty quick and you look faster than you like a 4.4 whatever. But I just
see. I'm with you. Like, you don't need to okay. So look at these. I mean, Tennessee was kind of the anomaly where it's like a running back can carry you to a Super Bowl because it almost did. They almost did.
Derrick Henry. Weren't they winning that game against the Patriots?
Huh?
Weren't they? The Chiefs. Weren't they winning the game against the Chiefs at one point?
They were. Yep. They were up by 10 and they blew it. Yep.
That's okay.
But this is what I'm saying. So but that's like the anomaly because usually these running back dominated teams where you take a running back and then you build a team around him, it usually doesn't work. It usually doesn't work.
It's not that league anymore.
I hate to say this because I have some Dallas Cowboy fans on the channel.
Yeah.
Y'all picked Ezekiel Elliott, one of the best running backs I've ever seen. One of the best running backs.
Awesome. He's awesome, man.
One of the best Zeke Elliott's one of the best running backs I've ever seen. When you give him the football, he's incredible. But they tried to build their whole team so now they're finally
their whole line, yeah.
Now they're finally starting to try and do it the right way. They picked, they have Dak. They think Dak can, they're starting to put some, talent around Prescott. Now they're finally starting to do it in a way where they could actually build around a young quarterback, but it's almost like they should have done that, back before, that should have been the way, a long time ago. It's these running back, like I said, Henry and the Titans were the kind of the anomaly.
Yeah.
But you see what these running back dominated teams do, where they push all their chips in on the running backs, and then they try and build teams around him. It's usually not successful. It's usually not.
I mean, because teams, you gotta have an O line to protect the quarterback, but they also want receivers. I think running backs are just I mean, you got to have somebody. I mean, Hilaire, at least one good thing for him is that he can catch the ball out of the backfield. So he might go late second round because of that, because he's versatile where he can catch the ball out of the backfield. And so, I mean, because for like screen games, because all these teams love to run the running back screen, receiver screen, whatnot. So, I think Hilaire will have a good like. You had a guy that played for the Patriots, Kevin Falk.
Yep.
Played for LSU.
Yep.
And he was an awesome player for us.
And like
LSU, and he was a good player for you guys. He was there for a long time.
You see these versatile running backs work much better than you know what I mean, like look at Kamara. Kamara is not that big steamroller of a running back.
Yeah.
But he he's awesome in space. You know, you
Yeah, the Saints tried to make him a number one running back last year, and it backfired. He got hurt.
Didn't work.
And what they should have did was, Ingram's agent really screwed us over because he kept playing hardball, and the Saints had to move on. Because they had to move on. So that's when they signed Latavius Murray, and Ingram went and signed with the Ravens because they kept playing hardball, and the Saints had no more time to waste because I think he was unrestricted at the time.
Yep.
So it's not like they could offer him a contract and match anything anybody would offer. So, that's when they went to another avenue, and that's when Ingram's agent got ticked off, and he went to the Ravens. But if the Saints would have just had the same offense they had with Ingram and just run Murray as the feature back and use Kamara as what they did the prior season, he probably wouldn't have got hurt last season. But
yeah.
But I mean, hopefully next season they turn to more what they were in 2017 and having Latavius Murray being the bell cow, so to speak, and Kamara being the scat back out of the backfield, catch the ball in the backfield. He can still run the ball, but whether him being the 1,000 like McCaffrey was, 1,000 receiving, 1,000 rushing. I don't think Kamara's that kind of a guy. I originally thought he was, but now looking back on last year, I don't think he's that kind of a guy that can get the 1,000 plateau. That's tough to do. I think there's only been 3 guys that did it. I think it was Roger Craig did it, Marshall Faulk, and now Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah,
1,000 yards receiving, 1,000 yards rushing. So that's tough to do.
Yeah, man. It's the league has definitely changed. It definitely has. Like the other Coach K just said in the chat, the league's changed, man. This is you got these more versatile running backs that can run the wheel routes and that can catch the ball out of the backfield.
They have to catch the ball. Right, they have to.
That can catch the ball out of the backfield and that are good and shifty in space. That's what the league's turning into. You don't see anymore. Like I said, Derrick Henry is an anomaly.
Yeah,
he is. He's an anomaly. Because you don't see guys like that usually have that kind of continued success, and he's nowadays NFL. Yeah, he's an anomaly. But from what I've heard from the Titans fans and just from people and just people that take closer looks at it than we do, that a guy that big shouldn't move he's fast. He's fast. He's shifty. He's agile. He's a good running back.
Yeah, I mean, he played Alabama. I mean, I saw him 3 times. So he was good in college. And he's good in the pros. Yeah, I mean, he's a good running back, and I think he's going to be good for as long as he has an offensive line that can block for open holes.
Yep.
He'll be
because he can do the rest. He'll be a Hall
of Famer.
Yeah, you get him into space, he'll do the rest.
And he falls forward 5 yards every time.
But what do you think, Goose? How do you think your Saints? I mean, I know you guys got some big time free. You got some guys that you need to shore up for the Saints. In free agency.
I have a lot of doubts. I mean, because they have to get a number 2 receiver. They have to. I mean, I think they need defensive help. I think their cornerbacks were iffy. Even Lattimore was iffy last season at times. Eli Apple got hurt.
A
And
lot.
Janoris Jenkins, I think he has a big contract. I don't know if they can. They're gonna have to rework that because Saints have no money. I have my doubts that the Saints can really contend unless they get creative, with the cap and how GMs do, where they sign to it's a signing bonus, or they can backload the contract.
Yep. Do
So
something with the money
they're
to hide it.
So Mickey Loomis is going to have to get very, very creative in how they work the Breeze contract. Just I don't know, man. Just they need some help. They need some help. Like I said, they have to have another receiver. Whether it's a in the draft, probably the draft and a free agent pickup. Somebody that can come in and be that number 2 guy, and then you draft somebody else also.
Yeah.
I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, because you have to having a solid number 2, even a number 2 and a number 3 or a tight, a tight, like, just, you need other guys to take that pressure off of Thomas to be,
Right.
that can say that, like, oh, there's other threats on the field. We got to pick our poison here, because you want Michael Thomas one-on-one as much as
Right.
possible.
Yeah, why do you think Jerry Rice was open so much? Because he had John Taylor to back him up, and
They
Chris
had-
Jones, Tom Rath, and Roger Craig.
Yeah,
He
so
had,
it's
he had other receivers to take the space out. Then we can't double Jerry Rice because John Taylor will catch the ball 10 times. So you have to have another receiver to get open, and that's what the Saints really need to look at is they have to get a number 2 receiver, a legit one, not Ted Ginn, not Austin Carr or Kirkland. None of these projects they've been working on this past season. They have to go out and get a legit number 2 in the offseason, and I think they have to draft somebody.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. They either need, if they can't get a number 2, then get a slot guy and get a good slot guy and a tight end. I think having an actual NFL tight end that
Jared Cook was pretty good last half of the season last year for the Saints.
But he's the one problem.
He's up there in age too,
I was just gonna say the one problem is he's not a long-term fix.
He's up there in age. I understand that.
Yeah. So Goose, the other Coach K says, would you take AJ Green?
Yeah, I would. Yeah. As number 2, I would take AJ Green.
If it was me, I don't. Unless it's an extremely team-friendly deal, because his health is a massive concern.
I know, it is. Oh, you're right. You have to look at all. But I mean, you asked me would I take him? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, because I think he would. Because at the Saints, if Des Bryant would have panned out, he had blown his ankle out 2 years ago. I think the Saints would have 2017 when they lost to the Rams and the Vikings and the miracle crap. I mean, when that happened, when was it Diggs caught the pass?
Yep.
I stared at the TV for 20 minutes. I just stared at the TV. I didn't move. I didn't move at all.
Just one of those, like, you just couldn't believe what just happened.
Because what happened was, my son-in-law was over, and we had poured some shots out. We were going to do some shots. We jinxed it. Yeah, we jinxed it. We poured the shots before the game was over, and we just sat there like dumbfounded. About 2 hours later, we realized that we had poured those shots. And I said, well, I guess we might as well go drink them. Are you sure? I said, well, I mean, they're just sitting there. Might as well go drink them. But I mean, the Saints have to get number 2 because that's really been their problem the past 2 years, is because they've had Michael Thomas, who's an outstanding receiver. Yes, but you have to have a number 2, like you said.
Yep.
Because in the playoffs they're gonna double Thomas, and they're gonna play against a run, and they're gonna say, you know what, you're not gonna do shit against us today.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that's what teams have done. That's what teams have done against the Saints in the playoffs.
They've done the same thing to the Pats. They took Edelman out of the games last year. They doubled Edelman, and they said the Pats have nothing else to beat us with.
Yeah.
So the other Coach K says, what about one of those guys from Bama? From Bama, they can take the top off the defense. One of the receivers from Alabama.
Like Jerry Jeudy?
Yeah.
Jerry Jeudy. I don't think Jerry Judy's gonna be there when we pick 24. I think we picked Saints pick.
Yeah.
He won't be there.
I think he's a top 12 guy.
Yeah. I would take Jerry Jeudy in a heartbeat. If Jefferson is there, the one out of LSU, I don't think he's gonna be there. I don't think he'll be there at 24 or where. I think the Saints picked 24. I know they pick in the mid 20s. The Saints might. But see, the Saints don't have a number 2 pick this season, so for them to move up.
So what about Ruggs? Coach K, the other Coach K said, "What about Ruggs? You think he'll be there for you guys?"
Will Ruggs be there? What do you think? I mean, will he be there mid?
I think the Giants might go after him.
Yeah.
He's kind of a fly under the radar guy, so he may get to maybe 14, 15, 16. It's a matter of you guys. The Saints might have
to. You never know what team is going to jump you, Bob. You never know what team is going to say, you know what, we want to mortgage the future and go get this receiver, like the Falcons did, with the Julio Jones. Yeah. So you never know what team is going to jump somebody and mortgage the future, and go out and get this receiver. I think if the Saints want to get a Judy type guy, they're gonna have to jump some teams. But we don't have a second round pick this year anyway.
The Coach K said, "What about a slot guy? A slot guy with some speed could help you guys out too."
Yeah, but so I think Kamara could do that.
Yeah. But that's what I was thinking. You line Alvin Kamara up in the slot.
The Saints have to have a number 2 guy. They don't have that, man.
Mm-hmm. No, I 100% agree.
They've had Ted Ginn, they had Austin Carr, Kirkland. Who else?
So what about Chris Harris Jr.?
Chris Harris, who's he from?
Cody says, "What about Chris Harris Jr.?" I don't know, Cody. I don't know, man. For a defensive back for the Saints,
the Saints need defensive help too, man. They really do. Because even Lattimore had problems last season.
I was just gonna say Lattimore was your best defender, and even at times he looked kind of slow.
Yeah.
There's the wide receiver talent this year and this draft coming up. There's a lot of solid guys playing wideout coming into this draft.
Man, so what about your draft?
The Patriots got it, man. They
how you looking cap wise?
I don't know. I know they don't have too much to work with. I don't think they're like real pinched, but I know that they don't have like a massive. I think they have 14, maybe 15, somewhere around there. Yeah. So it's not huge money.
That's about what the Saints have, I think. It's around that figure.
I think it's like 13, 14, 15, somewhere in there. It's not huge money, but it's probably not going to be enough to like make a huge splash. You know what I mean?
Because Brady wants Tom.
What's
he want?
That's what I'm saying, though, man. Brady's going to be looking for some money. You know, he's going to be looking for a good chunk of change, and every penny.
Has he been taking team friendly deals all this time?
This whole time he has. So it's the one
it's not like Brady's been getting $20 million a year for the Saints. So okay. So he has been taking team friendly deals. Okay.
Like here's the thing. We have a lot of needs to fill. We got a lot of spots to fill to ensure that the team contends, you know, for contends for
Yeah.
the next 10 years. And every penny you pay Brady is
Right.
money that you can't
You
spend.
can't pay somebody else like with Drew Brees.
Yeah. So it's like, I mean, the list of guys, not only this year, but the list of guys next year for the Pats, it's a lot of their young talent.
Dead cat.
The list, the guys, I mean, just to name, like, the guys next year, they're like guys in the James White route. They're the younger talent. So it's and James White's contract is up next year. So it's I'm telling you, like, I would like to see Brady back in a Patriot uniform, but you can't sacrifice the next 15 years for the next 2.
Good, because you've already won 6 titles, man. I mean, you won 6 Super Bowls.
That's what I mean. And I don't want to win these 6, right? And then suck for the next 15 years and do it. I don't want to do that. I
Right.
want to keep the team in contention.
Right.
And if that means like
you've won. I know it's tough for guys like Breeze and Brady to call it quits because they probably think that they can go till they're 50, but
they're just
can't.
maniacal in their attitudes.
They can't go there 50. I mean,
Yeah.
they can't. They can't. So I know they both said that they can play there at 50, but they can't. That's not going to happen. But I mean, what's it going to take for Brady and Breeze to say, you know what, it's it? I mean, I'm because with Aikman and Steve Gunn was easy. They got concussions. It was easy. Doctor said you got to quit. Otherwise, your brain is going to be mush.
Mm-hmm.
So what's it going to take for Breeze and Brady to say, you know what, it's time for me to just go spend time with Giselle or Breeze with his kids and.
Personally, I think the deal coming with the Saints, I can imagine is probably a 2-year. I would probably think
Saints, with Drew,
2 year with Drew, and then the Patriots, if they do sign Tom Brady, it's going to be for something stupid. Like, I mean, you're talking like 120 mil for like 5 years, but
really? But 5-year deal.
Listen, but in reality, right, that deal's going to read 125 for 5, but in reality, those last 2 years are fake. They'll front load that contract. They'll front load that whole contract with every bit of money they can. So the last two final years will be like, 8 million. There'll be nothing. But that's how they'll commit to Tom. They'll say, Tom, you want a 3-year? Here's a 5. But it's going to be something like that. But all the money, 85 to 90% of that money is going to be in the first 3.
Yeah. I'll be right back. I'll get the beer, and I want to change gears a little bit. I want to get your thoughts of what you really think is going to happen with the NHL, the NBA, and the Major Baseball. What's really going to happen with their seasons? Because I have a thought that I want to throw at you, and just see what you think about it.
All right, cool.
I'll be right back.
Cool. So anyways, guys, I hope all of y'all are having a good evening tonight. Elias, I think Brady is also going to stay. I think Brady is also going to stay. I can't see him leaving. Until I've said it for a while now, man. I have said it for a while. I think until I see Brady's name on the dotted line of another team and him in a different jersey, he will return to the Patriots. That has been my thoughts from the beginning. Even though the evidence is all stacking up in favor of him leaving, I still don't think he does. Coach K, me too. Me too. I like it, Elias. It's good, man. Yeah, Coach, we gotta talk about, can't just be harping on this COVID-19 stuff all the time. Got to do something to take our minds off of it, and just talking about even just talking about the future of this
All right, back, man.
even just talking about the sports stuff is good, man. All right, Goose. So
All right,
throw that scenario at me.
Go out. I mean, I've been thinking about with Christian Wood testing positive for the COVID-19. I think that just pushes the NBA back further than the original month.
Yep.
They said the more players that get tested positive for this virus, which I think they will, because the majority of people are going to get this sickness, illness.
Mm-hmm.
I think the NBA is in serious straits of not being. I think the NBA and NHL they might not play anymore, man. I think they're. I mean, I don't know. I just think
The only way they're going to get a realistic number, right? They have to call all the players, all the coaching staff, all the trainers. They have to call the people that are boots on the ground at these games and say, we are testing you because we need a realistic number.
Right.
That's the only way they're going to be able to get a realistic number, is to do that. They need to test everyone. Everyone.
Yeah. They have to know who has this illness and who doesn't have it, and because if there's like 10 players, let's just say there's like 10, 20 players that have this, well, they're not going to restart the season.
No. Nope.
Even with or without fans, it's not going to happen.
And here's the thing. Let's say they test everybody and like 20 of them come back positive. You know what I mean? Like they might be afraid to test everyone because that's a reality that could stare them in the face.
Like I told you, my wife's a nurse. So, I mean, a lot of people are going to have this virus and not know it.
And not even know it, yeah.
And they're going to get over it. Like I told you, I think like I got sick after Mardi Gras for about 4 or 5 days. I could have had COVID-19 and not known it. I mean, I didn't go get tested because I got well.
Yeah.
I took medicine for fever and it went away. Mm-hmm. So I think majority of the people that have this, that don't have underlying medical issues, are going to get over it, and as long as if nobody else tests positive for this illness, that bodes well for all these leagues to start back up when they say they are going to start. So we just got to hope that nobody else like baseball. I don't think they've come out with anybody that tested positive for COVID-19 yet with baseball.
No, as far as I know, I think we're in the clear with the MLB. I'm pretty sure.
And but so what you think about golf canceling their tournaments outdoors?
That one's kind of weird because to me, they could have still played that with no fans. They could have still done that,
Yeah, that's easy to do because it's outdoors, Bobby. That's outdoors.
That one kind of shocked me. Like, I thought for sure the Masters would still get played. I thought for sure it would. That, like, golf's the one that kind of shocked me, that they were like, that they said we're just canceling it. And that's the one that really, because it's outdoors, and two, if you take the fans away and just test the athletes and their caddies,
Yeah, I mean, who's out there on the golf
And
course?
then you test the media. You test the broadcast teams. Like there's not that many people to run through a test and say, you know what I mean? That would be the easiest. The golf
I just got an ESPN alert saying that the NBA owners are eyeing a mid to late June return.
mid to late June. Okay.
Yeah. Now that's not good, Bobby.
Well, yeah, that's 2 months. But what did we say? We like that's what I'm saying. If they're saying if these multiple if these leagues, MLB, NHL, NFL, if they're saying, oh, we need a month hiatus, you have to, you got to, that's that breathing room, So
Yeah.
if they're saying to the national media, oh, we're gonna shut it down for 30 days. Realistically, they're planning for 2 months, 3 months down that's what they're planning for much worse.
So I don't think that bodes well for the NFL pushing the NBA back to mid June.
Nope.
I don't think that looks good for the NFL. That pushes the NFL back. I mean, I hope that's not accurate. Like, hope things kind of level off in a few weeks, because there's a mutation stage with the virus.
Yeah.
There's a mutation stage. If everybody stays home, let's say like everybody, the whole country stays home 2 weeks. There's a mutation stage that it would just die off, and then everything will go back to normal.
Like it may come to that. You may see, hey guys, nationally, don't go out and they may announce that. They may say, you know what, guys, if you don't got to go out,
don't go.
Don't.
But yeah, I just got that ESPN alert about the NBA owners are bracing for a mid to late June return. So that's
and the other thing that shocked me, Coach K just mentioned it in the chat. It's the freaking UFC is still fighting. Like that's insane.
Yeah. UFC and WWE are still fighting.
That's crazy.
And yeah, those players aren't they sweating on each other, Bobby?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean. Like, and they travel across
city
to city across the country. And where they go to restaurants to eat, like they go out to eat because they're on the road constantly.
Yeah.
Hey, Valhalla Sports in the house. What's up, man? What's up?
You saw Dana White said that he has no plans
of stopping normal activities,
altering any of his upcoming events.
Yep.
Because if you look at his events, they have a bunch of stuff coming up. That they would have to postpone.
I know he did move a bunch of the events to the UFC arena in Vegas, but no fans. I think he's having. Correct me. If I'm wrong in the chat, please correct me. But I think he moved 3 events to the arena in Vegas with no fans to fight. I don't know if those are pay-per-views, but it said 3 events. So maybe the free fight nights have been moved to that arena.
Yeah, because they had a fight night against this past weekend in Brazil.
Yeah,
that was weird watching that with no fans.
It was Coach K said the same thing. He said that was super weird watching it with no fans.
It seemed like the fighters had no energy.
Yeah,
really. It just seemed it was weird. It was really weird watching watching that fight. I watched the whole thing, 6 hours. It was weird. I spent 6 hours on YouTube watching that. It was really, really weird. So, but yeah. UFC and WWE supposedly are still, but I think WrestleMania is a no-go. But
see, I personally, if the cancellations continue, I think Vince McMahon is going to have to bite the bullet, and he's set to lose a lot of money, but I think he's going to come to a point where he's not going to have a choice.
Yeah, I thought I saw a report where they anticipate WrestleMania being canceled over there in Tampa. I think it's in Tampa. I think it's in Tampa this year. I went when they went the first time when they were in New Orleans. I actually got tickets for it. I actually enjoyed myself. It was actually they did put on a good show.
It's
But
from what I've heard, it's an event.
that's when Hulk Hogan said they were in the Silverdome. they were in the Superdome. Hulk Hogan was all probably drugged up, didn't know where the hell he was. But
Valhalla Sports said that it's got to feel like a practice to the participants, whether it's fight. It's gotta be weird not seeing any fans. It has to be.
right, because I'm sure the fans, even in football and basketball, whatever, you get pumped up when the fans are into it and they're screaming, they're yelling, whatever. Man,
So
I don't know about you.
So update, right?
Yeah.
The stream hasn't got shut down, so clearly I must have done something right with the.
We haven't violated any laws.
I don't think so. They haven't shut me down yet, so clearly I think I did something right.
Let's talk about ESPN's programming for a minute. I mean, I don't watch their shows middle of the day anyway because they're crap anyway. What are they going to talk about for this whole week? They have nothing to talk about.
But see, like networks like that are gonna struggle. It's like what is
I hate to be somebody that the programmer that decides. Let's see, what are we going to talk about today? What guests we have lined up. I mean, what are you going to talk about? You can't talk about COVID-19 for 3 hours and have somebody listen to you for 3 hours. You can't have that, man. I'm curious. I'm curious. I rarely watch Get Up and First Take and Skip and Shannon, but I think I'm gonna watch them tomorrow just to see. I'm gonna peek in to see what are they talking about because they have nothing to talk about.
I know. ESPN the Ocho coming back.
Yeah, maybe how much dodgeball, huh?
But it's man, it's just crazy. Like if all these, like I said, the biggest problem for these leagues is going to be, it's going to be, logistical stuff. How do they cram? The hockey has 15, 20, call it 20 games left. Basketball has 20 games left.
Because the dates were already set of when hockey and basketball was going to play. So because that was already set. Now you don't know when are you going to play those games.
Yeah. Now, it's crazy. Just everything
you can't schedule on a whim.
Yeah.
And say okay. This week we're playing 3 games. The hockey's playing Monday. Basketball's playing Thursday. You can't do that. So
and just logistics, like not it's everything, dude. Like this really is like messing stuff.
Because there's detail for the police that work those events.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I think if mid to late June really seems to me that we might not see NBA or NHL till next October.
Yeah, no, there's a definite possibility that's the case.
I mean, because Major League Baseball was dumb and they canceled the World Series back in '94. So and that was different reasons, but because you can't just keep pushing it. We'll push it back to August. We'll push it back to September. You can't just keep pushing the season back because the next season has to start. The next season has to start usually in October, right?
Yeah. Yep.
October.
Yeah.
So it's the next season that you really have to look forward. You have to look at and say, okay, when can we start the next season? Because you can't. So so the season's going to end in August, right? Supposedly. What's it saying? Goose, can I have that jersey? You got a de-corona it first, though. Yeah, I did. Well, actually, I did get it from. I did get it from China. I did, but this was before the outbreak. Actually, I did get it from China. But this is before the outbreak. I sprayed it with some Lysol. It's all right.
Lysol has that in it.
But yeah, like I said, they want to keep pushing the season back, right, to August, but the season don't start. The season starts in October, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't just push the season back and have the season in August, and then you go right into basketball 2 months later. So I think basketball and baseball is in serious jeopardy.
Yeah.
Serious
No,
jeopardy.
those are and I think from the start, those were the two that were really gonna, because
Yeah.
like if let's say Major League Baseball has to start in mid-June, I mean that's realistically that's when everybody, like that's when, like to be
That's when
honest,
it's warm, Bobby.
April and May are practices for these teams.
I mean, it's warm in June pretty much everywhere, so you don't have to worry about games being canceled because snow up in the northern states. So, but
Well, I'm just talking beginning of the year though. It's like
Yeah.
like you know, a lot of these MLB teams look at April as an extension of the
spring training.
the preseason, spring training. You know, like so May and June, like June in particular, is when they start. You know, that's when they start. You know, they start meshing as teams and they start playing well. So it's just going to be, it'll be interesting.
Yeah, I was talking about because I know last year they had a bunch of snow games in April.
Mm-hmm.
In the northern states, they canceled games. They had postponed, pushing back. So,
Coach K, yes, baseball is more than likely going to play a shortened season. More than likely, yeah.
More than likely, yeah. More than likely, yeah. They probably won't make up any games that they missed at the beginning of the season. They'll probably start the season. They'll probably whenever the season starts, they'll start the season wherever the schedule was at that point.
You might see, instead of 162, you might see 130.
Yeah.
120 game season.
Some teams might have more home games. Some might have less. Just the way the schedule will work out at the end. But
I mean, if basketball does come back though, like let's say basketball does come back, the I went over this before the last stream where it's like, these guys are going to be rested, Goose. Like you're like LeBron, AD.
What kind of shape are some going to be in now?
No, that's the other. But see, I was just going to get at that, right? I had talked about it that they're going to be rested, but at the same time, like now they have to turn it up after being off for a month or two.
Off a few months, yeah.
So it's like,
what kind of shape are some players are probably going to not be in shape as they were a few days ago. So like Zion, I have doubts that he'll be in shape in a few months because he's already been injured, and so we'll see though. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I think that last notification from ESPN has me a little worried about the NHL and the NBA.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So here's another good one. What do you think of this, Coach? I mean, Goose, from the coach.
Why would they protect the players? Well, they protect the players and go from there. Think about the Rangers opening a new stadium this season.
I think he's talking financially. Like.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because we talk about the doomsday scenario in the clause with these contracts. How they got to pay them, right?
Mm-hmm.
If there's some kind of pandemic that's widespread in this country, these owners can get out of paying these players. Would they do it? I mean, they're billionaires, man. And right now, guess what? These billionaires aren't making money.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wouldn't put it past them. That's why these union presidents always tell these players, save your money, save your paychecks. Don't spend your paychecks because you never know what's going to happen. And hopefully, DeMaurice Smith with the NFL told his players that, and whoever with the basketball and Major League Baseball.
So Valhalla said he put a tweet out, and he said, how long do you think the arenas will stay empty? 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, or a year? I'm gonna go with 3. My hope is for 1 though. I'm gonna go
3
with
months. 3 months. 3 months will put into June, right?
Yeah.
I'll say 3.
I'm gonna hope for one, but realistically, it's probably gonna be 3.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be 3. I think it'll be.
Which is insane. Like we're at day 4 now, and it's like we're already like losing our like.
I mean, if we can get some good news, like in 2 weeks, where like I said, the cases kind of level off.
Yeah.
A little bit, and then that would be good news. If we can get to a point where the cases are level, we're going to see a spike. People are going to get sick. So I mean, we shouldn't get too alarmed when people get sick. I mean, because people are going to recover from it, just like we recover from the flu.
Yeah.
But that's what we're going to need to see some. We're going to need some kind of level off period. And then I think that's when the NBA can make a decision of when they can come back.
Yep. No, I 100% agree. They're gonna take a look at it, and they're gonna say, all right, we think it's plateaued off. There's no more. The arrow is not pointing up anymore.
It's going down.
Yeah, it has plateaued off, and there's only once it plateaus off, there's only one way for it to go. People are gonna start recovering. Yeah.
Yeah. So. But I mean, but mid June is not. I mean, I don't. I worry about that because that ends the NHL season. That ends the NBA season.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because they're going to play the playoffs last long anyway, Bob. That they last April to June. So, I mean, the playoffs can't go to August, and then they start preseason in September.
So the Coach K coming in with a pretty good bombshell here. He said he saw this tweet from the CDC.
Yeah, I think I did see that earlier I think we talked about that about the 50 more people till next 8 weeks would put it till closer to June. Yeah,
that's June. So but see, I had we all knew this. They said 30 days.
That was best case scenario.
That was best case scenario. That was them saying oh, nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. But it's realistically, it's come on, man. Come on. If they're putting 30 days out into the media, the reality is probably closer to 60.
Yeah. Majority of people knew that. I mean, you had the common sense that 30 days was on the low end.
But yeah,
of a best case scenario.
Yep.
That wasn't the high. That was the best case scenario. Yeah, but I did see that. We got to mention this, Bobby, because people might not know. Don't drink bleach because bleach might kill you if you drink bleach.
Wash your damn hands, you dirty sons of bitches.
Don't drink bleach.
How about that? How about you just wash your hands?
I almost fell out my chair when I saw that about drinking bleach.
It's common sense, really? Dude. I'm telling you, right? You walk into a restaurant to go eat something, whether it's a sub joint pizza place, right? Restaurant, whatever. Walk in, go to the bathroom, wash your hands before you eat, right?
Yeah.
Then when you get home from the restaurant, wash your hands.
I always wash my hands after I eat too. So.
But that's what I'm saying. So you wash your it's just, and they say wash your hands and try not to touch your face throughout the day. So it's, I mean, and just by doing that, it's just the one thing that I can just keep putting out there to people is just use common sense, man. If you're touching a surface that other people have, a lot of other people have touched, go wash your hands. Go find a bathroom and wash your hands. It's.
I mean,
that's what I'm like. I hate to beat it into people's heads, but it's just common sense. If you're touching a surface that other people have touched, just wash your hands, dude. Yeah. That's it.
You mean I can't touch the door handle, lick my fingers? But I mean, when I go out to dinner, Bobby, I mean, every time I always go wash my hands after I eat, and I use the restroom and wash my hands, and that's just, I don't know, but other people don't do that. They just don't wash their hands, whether when they use a restroom or whatnot. They think that they don't have any germs or whatever, but I don't know, man. But
it's just I mean, I've said this in all three of these this, like it's just like, come on, like it's common sense. Walk into somewhere that if you're going into a social gathering, just wash your damn hands.
You know what you're gonna see? You're gonna like I told you, my wife's a nurse. You're gonna see a reduction in the flu cases because of this, because people are starting to wash their hands now.
Yeah, dude,
Because
there's
people
some.
now all of a sudden washing their hands, and they're not going to get the flu, they're not going to get the common cold, and you're going to see reductions in those cases, and because people are finally being
Dude,
sanitary,
I've
washing
seen
their
people
hands.
go into restaurant bathrooms, take a piss, and just walk out. It's like, you
I've
nasty.
seen I've seen people walk out the stall in the not the urinal, but the other one, and not wash their hands.
It's
So
like,
I'm like,
you
really?
bunch of nasty asses. Like, just wash your, like, come on. It's like, look, like I said, I hate to drill it into people's heads, but it's just use common sense.
Yeah, but people don't have common sense, Bobby. They don't have common sense because they listen to the news to know how they want to think. So
Steel Maiden, that sucks, man. But see, like, so part-time people are in wait staff and all. Like, Steel Maiden
yeah,
says, he goes, I can't go to work because they closed the restaurants.
right. They close the restaurant, yeah, because they close the restaurant, right? People like that, people like that, they unfortunately they can't work because of this. Unfortunately, um, it stinks. It really does, man. This is going to have repercussions. Something's going to have to break, Bob. Like I said, because these casinos are going to lose money. These networks are going to lose money because they're not showing sporting events. They're not getting the viewership they usually get. The advertising dollars aren't going to come in that normally happens in this time of year. So something's gonna come to a head eventually, within a month. Within a month.
No, yeah, it's
I
you
think
just.
I think I think you're gonna see something by the end of the month. You're gonna see some kind of decision somewhere. What happens in the month?
I'm honestly, I'm like, I'm at least up in Boston. I live like most of you guys know, I live an hour south of a major city. I live an hour south of Boston. Um, Work life has really not been affected by it. We're still, 95% of the city is, people are still, believe me, there's still rush hour traffic in Boston. It's still, people are, they haven't, completely shut down the city. It's
Not
there
yet.
are there are spots of it that are working remotely, but for the most part it hasn't really affected everyday work life yet. But I use that word,
Yeah,
yet. It has not
it
got
could
to
change
that point
daily. It could change
yet.
daily. So all it takes is something to happen, and they'll say, you know what?
I mean,
My
look at
God.
parts of New York. New York's only like 300 miles from me,
Yeah.
and they're parts of New York are on lockdown. Parts of New York are in, it's bad.
Yeah.
So
Supposedly last night they were going through Bourbon Street and telling people to go home.
yeah,
So
I'm telling you, it's but like I said, just common sense, man. That's all it is. Just common sense.
yeah,
Don't.
if people would just wash their hands like regularly,
Yeah.
normal. I mean, talk about normal illnesses. Normal illnesses would be drastically reduced, but people don't do that.
Have you walked through a Walmart and seen who walks through there and shops in there, dude? Like,
I've been to the women of Walmart. Yeah, the people of Walmart. Yes, I've been to Walmart before. And I've seen society, and yes, people are dirty. People are dirty,
but that's what I'm saying, man. It's
and it's not going to change. So no matter how many, because like I said, Bobby, the CDs, excuse me, the CDC had to put out a video how to wash. They had to teach you how to wash your hands properly.
I
Rub
know.
it for 20 seconds. Don't drink bleach. People don't know to wash your hands for 20 seconds with warm water, and get friction on your hands, get the bacteria off, and bathe them in hand sanitizer is not washing your hands. So, but people don't realize that. But
Steel Maiden says Walmart's nothing. Have you seen the people that sit in movie theaters?
oh, that's even gross. That's even worse. That's even worse. That's even worse, man. That's even worse. Damn. Movie theaters. You think Do they have those places up there, like movie tavern, where they serve food and like beer and stuff like that?
Yep.
I like those places where you can actually watch the movie and you can get like a pizza or a beer or a hamburger. That's pretty cool, man. They got one of those places over here. But I don't know about you. But I saw. Do you follow O.J. Simpson on Twitter?
Yes, I do.
He put out a video about something about Americans boycotting Chinese restaurants because of the coronavirus, and man, that's sad. People boycotting the American. It's not really Chinese food. It's really not. They don't have that kind of food in China. They don't have Kung Pao chicken or General Tao. I mean, that's all just made up names that they just made that make people think that it's like Italian food. They don't have chicken parmesan in Italy.
So
that's an American modernized Italian cuisine. Chicken parmesan and veal parmesan and
so
like
Coach K says, I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick, Coach.
Me too.
Goose, I will. All right, you're gonna go too. All right, so
take a double break.
All right, so guys, hold on for 2 minutes.
We're not going together, by the way, because we're two different.
The 1 gallon of water that I drank before the stream is running through me, and Goose's brew is running through him. So we'll be right back. So I'm back, guys. What's up? Valhalla, I did wash my hands. I did wash my hands. Quick break.
Oh, damn, you beat me. Damn.
Goose, did you wash your hands?
I sure did. Did you? You beat me. So let's switch gears a little bit. What do you think the Celtics and the Bruins' chances were going into the playoffs? You still there? There you are. Never mind.
This was I tell you, dude, this was the Bruins' probably best chance to win a cup, and they might not get to the best chance in a while for them to win one, and they might not get to might not get it, it might not happen.
Am I right? Might not have a chance even to get to the playoffs because of this. Because I thought the Bucks and the Clippers had the best chance. The Bucks and the Clippers had the best chances of getting to the finals. But
I guess I'm a Celtic fan, so fuck the Lakers.
I said Clippers. I said Clippers Lakers.
No, I'm just saying I'm rooting for the Clippers. Screw LA. Sorry, Arter, if you're listening, but the Lake Show can suck my ass.
Yeah, I might be wearing purple and gold, but it's not Lakers purple. But yeah, I kind of I felt that Bruins had a good season going, and I know y'all lost last year in the Cup to the Blues.
Yeah.
Because playoff hockey I watch. I rarely watch regular season hockey, but playoff hockey, I like watching playoff hockey. But I think it's very entertaining because the 8 seed can actually win in hockey. It's weird. I mean, it's not like NBA 8 seed usually in a disadvantage against the 1 seed, but in hockey, it seems like the 8 seed has a chance to win. And I don't know, is that normally true? The 8 seed actually has a chance to win in hockey in the playoff series.
Steele, I'm kind of like it's going to be hard to not explain that one away. He says if the Lakers win the finals, it's rigged. I'm sorry.
Oh, could the Kobe Bryant situation?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, the Lakers.
It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to explain that one. Oh no, it's not. Come on, man.
I mean, I thought the Yankees were going to win after 9/11.
I thought they were. I thought they were going to too. I thought they had. I thought they were going to win the series there too.
Because I remember I was at my girlfriend's house at the time. This is 2001, and Rivera came out in the 8th, and he blew away the D-backs in the 8th. And I said, "Oh man," I said, "This is over with." I mean, this is Sandman. I mean, he don't freaking lose, not in the playoffs, right? And because you're a Sox fan, was he pretty much automatic when he came in, the Sandman? I know. It was like the only time that that was. He choked in a series. It was the only time that he had a bad inning, and because he was pretty close to being lights out when he came in. I mean, he had 600 and something saves, whatever it was, and I think he had like a .82 ERA in the postseason.
Yeah. Oh no, it was. As a Red Sox fan, like the rivalry is real for me between the Yankees, but
I'm sure it is.
But Rivera is the greatest. That dude's cut fastball was nasty. Like he's the greatest. He's probably the greatest. One of the greatest closers I've ever seen.
I think he's the best. I think he's the best closer I ever saw in my lifetime.
No,
there's nobody can compare.
I'm right there with you. Rivera was he was as automatic as it got.
I mean, when he came in, it was pretty much okay. It's done, lights out.
Yep.
night, go home. I mean, he's human. He's gonna blow a lead, but he would probably say 19 out of 20.
Yeah. 99 out of 100 times the Yankees probably win that game.
When he blew that game against the D-backs, I was like, wow, because I was really shocked. I thought the Yankees were going to win after 9/11.
I will say this though: the Western Conference Finals for the NBA is going to be Lakers Clippers.
It would have been, yeah, it would have been.
That's what I'm saying. If it still goes off, and if we do get NBA, I'm still voting Lakers Clippers.
Because one was going to be 1-2. They can't meet each other until the finals. So yeah.
They're the best teams in the Western Conference. I mean, are there other teams that are playing really well and like red hot right now? Yeah, but if we're just talking, when it's going to come down to it, I think it was going to come down to Lakers Clippers.
Yeah,
and that would have been a battle for the finals.
That probably gone 6 or 7 probably
easily.
I don't know if we're going 7, but it. I'd have been surprised. I'd have been shocked if it goes 5.
But yeah, they're both. I mean, you're talking 4 of the 4 players are in there, probably in the top 6 in the league, 6 or 8 in the league.
Because you got LeBron, you got AD, you got Kawhi, Paul George.
That's what I mean.
Beverly. Lou Williams is a outstanding. Lou Williams would start for any team. He come off the bench for the Clippers. All those players. I still think the Clippers would take them in 7, but we might not never know. I mean, we might not never know.
Coach K. That's insane too. Kawhi is looking for his 3rd title with his 3rd team.
Yeah, because he won with the Spurs. Yeah, he won with the Spurs, and
That's
he was the best player on that Spurs team.
mm-hmm.
And I mean, I thought he was the best player on the team last year, but the way Toronto's playing this season, I think they're just a good team this season. I think Toronto was just a very, very good team last season.
Yeah.
And they had I think was Kawhi the best player on the team probably, but I think Toronto was better than we thought last season because of the way they're playing this season. I thought they were going to be probably 6 or 7 seed in the East after losing Kawhi.
So
But,
this is facts too. Valhalla says it's gonna be whoever gets up to speed the fastest.
Right?
Yeah.
You're right because, like I said, what players are in shape out of this hiatus? Because some of them probably aren't going to be doing basketball activities. They'll be doing other stuff. But yeah, right. Which team is going to be? What team is going to be best in shape and stuff like that? Because what do you think? What do you think the Rockets? Their philosophy, the small ball. I have serious doubts that would have worked in the playoffs.
Yeah. No, yeah. I to me that type of ball only gets you so far.
It's going to win games in the regular season, absolutely.
Yeah. No, but I'm talking like it's to me that type of stuff only takes you so far in the playoffs.
Yeah, because in 7 games, it's you got to be a team 4 times, so it's different than playing a different team each day. So yeah, I agree 100% with that because the Rockets might have got bounced in the first round, depending upon who they have would have been paired up with in the first round.
Coach K, Kawhi is something else because he not only can he put a team on his back offensively, but that dude Kawhi can actually play D, and I mean legitimately play defense.
Kawhi's a very, very, very good player. But because he was the best player on the Spurs team, but when they won their title.
Yeah. Oh no doubt. Steele, I could Steele, and he said I still love Kawhi. I just don't like I just hated what he did to get out of San Antonio.
San Antonio, yeah. I mean, see that's weird because
it was a bad look for him. But I could at the same time, it's like that medical staff was kind of sketchy down there too. So
that's surprising because Popovich has been there for 25 years, made the playoff 25 years.
Because I don't think he had a problem with Pop and the team. It was how the front office and the med staff was handling him.
See, because the Spurs have been, let's face it, man. I mean, the Spurs have been the past 20 plus years. They're the best NBA team ever in that this time for it because they made the playoffs every single year. I mean, Popovich. No matter who the player is that goes on that team, they always perform.
This would have been a record for the Spurs, or a record-breaking season. This would have been season number 23 in which they made the playoffs.
Yeah, I think they would have been out this season, but they made the playoffs 20 plus years, man. That's damn, man.
Yeah. So Steel Maiden just said it. This will be the first time since 1997 where they don't make the playoffs. Yeah.
Wow, 97. 97 was 3 years after I graduated.
Yeah, so it's
Damn.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
And they were good, but they were
so pretty much your whole adult life you've seen them make the playoffs
because they were good before. They were good when I was in high school because they had Duncan Robinson on the team.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Because he went to the Naval Academy, but yeah, they were pretty good back then. But yeah, but since Popovich has got there, they've
So Coach K says we need to blow this roster up and start a rebuild. More than likely talking about the Spurs.
The Spurs, yeah. I mean, where do you put Pop? Where do you put Pop all time?
He's got to be up there, man. He's maybe 2, 3.
I mean, do you put I mean, is it Auerbach one, or is it Pat Riley? Is it Phil Jackson? I mean, who do you put?
I see. He's probably 3. He's probably
Huh?
3 or 4. Probably 3. Probably 3. Because I mean, like you said, you have to put Auerbach in there because the Celtic, the Celtics teams that he coached were freaking just stupid good.
And I know you don't like Pat Riley, but Pat Riley was a very good coach. He was
He just didn't the attitude and the just the team, like he just didn't mesh with the Celtics well. I mean that he wasn't really a bad coach. It's just
Who?
Huh?
Who are you talking about?
Pat Riley.
Pat Riley, yeah. Because the Lakers.
Oh no, I'm thinking of the wrong Riley. My bad. Fuck.
Are you talking about Patino?
Yeah, not Riley. Yeah, my mind is gone. Sorry.
Patino.
Patino was. It's not like he was a bad. Like, yeah, my mind is. I'm sorry, guys.
How about Pat Riley? The guy
Yeah.
the Lakers, man.
No, I'm sorry. My mind is out of here. I was. You said you. I was thinking Pat. Patino. So. Patino's. He just didn't work out.
You saw where Patino got on the job, right? With
Yeah.
Iona?
Yeah. No, but
Yeah,
so
his, like,
Riley. No,
yeah.
no, Pat. Yeah, you would have to put him up there. Where do you think? 3 maybe?
Pat Riley?
Yeah.
Man, he's got to be top 4, man, top 5, man. I mean, with Showtime with the Lakers, his hair slicked back, man. I mean, they won like 5 championships in the 80s.
So I mean, he's got to be 3 or 4, probably. Like it. Like I would probably. Who do you think's 1?
Man,
Is it?
man, you know what?
Is it Jackson?
It's Popovich, man.
See those it's like I think if you're going like top 5 or 6, you have like Auerbach's in there, Riley's in there.
Of course, yeah.
Riley's got to be in there in no particular order. So like Auerbach has to be in there, Riley has to be in there, Jackson has to be in there, Pop has to be in there.
Yeah.
I'm trying to go back.
Phil Jackson has to be in there too. I mean, I know he coached with Michael Jordan, stuff like that, but I mean, Phil Jackson won 6 titles. I mean, he has to be in there, man. I mean,
but that's what I'm saying. So it's like you're talking like all like, but those coaches are like all century. Like they're ridiculous. Like they're if Pop's gonna. He's good. Like don't take anything away from it. He's a good coach.
I mean, I mean, like I said, Bobby, you and I can go on that team right now, and he'd probably have us, all NBA. I mean, because he would have us doing what we do best. That's what he does. When a player goes to him, he
gets the best out of them.
He gets the best out of whoever is on that team, whoever it is. I mean, there's players on that team that you don't know who the hell their name is, but like Jesus Christ, they're scoring 10, 20 points a game.
So what about Valhalla says Riley was the godfather of Showtime. Yeah, he was gay. Valhalla, he was good, man. He was.
Yeah, he had his black hair slicked back. He was Showtime in the '80s, man. Pat Riley in the. I remember like I said I'm 40, 44, so I remember the '80s, the Celtics Lakers rivalry that was pretty big with like Bird versus Jordan. Remember Bird versus Magic.
Mm-hmm.
Bird versus Magic back in the 80s, man, when it was just East versus West. You had the West Coast and the East Coast, man. It always seemed like the Celtics and Lakers always met in the finals, and it was always down either Bird versus Magic, and because they were rivals in college.
Mm-hmm. So, Coach K, that's a fact. Pop dealing with the media, number 1 fact. The one-liners were classic, absolutely.
Yeah, he's
He's on the Bill Belichickian level of dealing with the media.
Yeah, he always was like, what? Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And Valhalla, the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar hook shot was unstoppable.
Oh yeah, when if Kareem did it to perfection,
The Abdul-Jabbar hook shot was unstoppable. It was.
I mean, if he did it to perfection, you couldn't block it. It's impossible.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't because his length with his arm, it was impossible for you to block that shot.
To get up to the level you needed to get the ball, you're done.
It was impossible. Impossible. When he perfected that, it was done. I mean, Kareem was probably one of the best centers that the game has ever seen.
Oh no, without a doubt. Because you don't. But let's be honest. Like nowadays, you don't see those
traditional centers,
those true centers anymore because the game is shifting. Like you see more guys like I mean, if we're using somebody from the Celtics, you see more of the guys that are like Daniel Tice that are maybe 6'8", 6'9", 6'10", and they can shoot the three ball. You see more of those you don't see a lot of 6'11" guys that are pure rim protectors and that they just position themselves under the rim.
Game's a lot different than because so it's an outside game now. It's an outside game, and I don't know if we'll ever go back to an inside game. I think we'll be in an outside game for a while.
Yeah. Valhalla says it was fun going to those games in the '80s. The fabulous Forum.
Oh yeah, Forum. Yeah, I went to the Forum one time. It wasn't for a basketball game. It was for a tennis match. I saw Jimmy Connors play a tennis match at the Forum in Los Angeles. Because my aunt used to live out there in LA, years ago, and so I've been to the Forum, but it wasn't for a basketball game. It was for a tennis match, and Jimmy Connors. Coach K, absolutely. Like the Shaq type guys, those pure centers. Those they're elbow and in. You know what I mean? Yeah. They're the elbow and in guys. That's it. Yeah, because college doesn't they don't have those kind of players. So you won't see it in the NBA because college they don't have those kind of players anymore. Because it's an outside game. It's an outside game, and it's gonna be there for a while.
I mean, look at a guy like Giannis's size shouldn't be able to shoot the three, but he can shoot the three. AD
can do the same thing.
I mean, you're talking guys 6'11" plus, like Brook Lopez can shoot that. Like these big men now can shoot from the perimeter. Where Goose in the '80s and '90s, you didn't see that.
Hakeem Olajuwon would never go out beyond the arc
and shoot. Because it wasn't even fathomable. The game is, and you see how a lot of these games are played, dude. The defense is secondary. It's all about these games. These high scoring shootout games. They're 125 to 115, 130 to 135, 120. They don't play no D.
No. I don't watch much college basketball. The ones I did, what I noticed is that most of the shots were from outside the 3-point circle. They never worked the ball inside because they don't have those kind of players that can dominate the paint. And I was like, man, they would always put up a shot like late in the shot clock. It was always a 3-point shot in college. It's like, man, Steph Curry has ruined the league because he's.
Somebody just said that the other Coach K said the Warriors have changed the game with the 3-point shots, the three ball. Yeah. Oh yeah. They have.
Yeah, they've changed the way the NBA and college and even college. The way these coaches maybe probably recruit.
Yeah.
What kind of players they get? Because these players want they see the NBA guys shooting 100 3-point shots a year, and that's what I want
You
to
want
do.
to know what really caused all this and what ruined the NBA? Even NFL too. And these analytics nerds.
Analytics.
These analytics nerds ruined, and baseball's even starting to adopt some of it
Oh,
too.
baseball's worse, man. I know. There's a guy. I know Cushman.
Yeah.
He's a big analytic guy. I'm like, oh man, come on, man. He hates RBIs. He says RBIs is the most worthless stat in baseball.
Analytics can suck my ass.
Yeah.
Like, if
Okay, so if I go for it on 4th down on the 24-yard line with 3 minutes and 22 seconds to go, I have a 90% chance of winning the football game. So let me do it. So yeah, I get it. I get it. The analytics have ruined sports because all these percentages they give out where, okay, if you go for a 2-point right here, a 2-pointer, go for 2 here instead of 1 or whatnot, or go for it on 4th and 3 or punt it
Yeah.
or whatever. So.
it's like they just don't want to take what's given to them anymore. You know what I mean? They just don't want to take what's given to them anymore. It's like back in the day in basketball, if you had a center that nobody could guard, what would you do? The point, the ones and twos, they'd feed them the ball all day and just let them dunk on the other team all day long.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what the Rockets did with Olajuwon and Shaquille.
Yeah.
None
None of these NBA teams or they don't just take what's given to them anymore. They have to go with all the analytics and all the percentages and all this other BS.
Yeah. Eventually that will kind of work itself out where they'll.
So Steel Maiden says if analytics mattered at all, the Yankees would win the World Series every year. The Steelers would win the Super Bowl every year. The Caps would win the Stanley Cup every year.
Caps. It was good. It was good to see Ovechkin win finally a few years ago. Because
it was good to see him get one because he's good, man. Ovi is good. That's a fact.
I mean, it was good to see Ovechkin get a cup.
What was even more entertaining than seeing him win the Stanley Cup was seeing him celebrate winning the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, because
the 2 months that he spent drinking out of it was insanity. It was awesome.
I mean, I think I would have done the same thing, but that's just me. But
every week there was a tweet of him doing some sort of escapade that involved alcohol in the Stanley Cup.
Hey, college football has a Stanley Cup? Did you know that?
Do they really?
Yeah. College football has a trophy that rotates around every year. They do. I didn't know that until a few years ago. I kind of stumbled across it. Yes, there is a trophy that travels year to year that they engrave, whoever wins, and it goes year to year, passes on and on to a team. It's been that way since like 1959.
Oh, I did not know that.
I didn't even know that. It's like, man. Yeah, so college football has their Stanley Cup. I mean, they don't publicize it. It's called the MacArthur Trophy or something like that. And but
interesting.
Yeah, but they do have it.
So the other Coach K says there was a high school in Arkansas that went for an onside kick, then went for 2, and then went for it on 4th down because of analytics.
That's what you do on PlayStation, just to be a jerk. I mean. I used to do that all the time. I mean, when I played with a friend on PlayStation, we always go for 2, did the onside kick,
Ryan, I think the trophy's called, what was it, Goose? The MacArthur? What's it called? The MacArthur. MacArthur Cup.
Yeah, MacArthur Cup. Yeah, you can Google it. I think it's MacArthur. But yeah, it's a traveling trophy. I think it's been handed out since 1959, and it's given to the team that wins the AP. Whoever won the Associated Press poll, that's who it's handed out to.
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
So it is like a Stanley Cup where it rotates around every year. I think, which I thought it was kind of, I never knew it till like a few years ago. I'm like, Jesus Christ, this thing's been going on since 1959. So, man, man, the more you know, right?
Yeah, no, I know.
I mean, the more you know. So, yeah, I mean, so it's no soccer. No, we got no soccer. We got no golf. We got no football. We got no hockey. No basketball. No XFL.
The biggest, like you were saying earlier, man. The hardest thing for them, the hardest thing is going to be if they have to postpone it longer.
Yeah.
Because the longer it goes, right? The longer it goes, the more difficult it's going to be to squeeze these games, and it's just going to come to a point where,
like I said, because the next season has to start at some point, right?
yeah,
they cannot postpone that, or they can't
they have to have an off season. They have to have an off season.
So I think the NBA and the NHL is in some dire straits. If this thing cannot start before May 1st. I say May 1st. I say May 1st is the cutoff date, man. I think that's it.
Yeah, it's like they have to have an off season for this year.
The players have to have an off season.
And well, not only that, they have to be, the team's got to be able to go through, next year's free agency. They have to go through all that crap too.
Yeah. When's the draft of the NBA? Was it in June? Usually late June?
I'm not sure. Hold on.
Wasn't always late June at the draft in the NBA? So you're gonna have the playoffs going on with the draft? That don't make no sense. You won with the draft last season.
So it's the end of June.
End of June, okay.
It's the end of June.
So supposedly you're gonna have the draft going on when you have your season still being concluded. Okay.
So let's look up the 2021 date. So hold on. The 2020 NBA draft was June 25th.
Okay.
So
that's usually like a few weeks after the finals. Then, so usually yeah. This is not good.
So this says the 2021 NBA draft will be June 20th.
June 20. June 20, 2020. Okay. And we're not
the 2021 one. The 2020 one is the 25th of June.
Okay.
So they can't. I mean, they're going to have to work around that too.
Right. They got to work around. So you're going to have the draft going on when the playoffs are still supposedly going on, if it gets to that point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So the draft is going to be in the middle of a playoff run.
The season, the playoffs, yeah. That makes zero sense.
And then you're going to run into the, if it continues the way it's going, then the NBA season's going to run into the NFL season.
Yeah, because the preseason usually starts in the middle of August.
Mm-hmm. It's like the second week in August. They're
usually the middle of August is when the Saints usually have their first preseason game, which everybody else has it.
Yeah.
Too, but I mean,
these major league sports better hope that this thing gets resolved in the next 3 weeks, or they're going to be I'm with you. They're going to be in a load of trouble if this thing continues.
Yeah. Because the NHL and NBA probably will not have a postseason, and this season will end. And will the players get paid? I don't know. We'll see. I guess. I mean, does the NHL have a doomsday? Have you read anything about that? About the NHL having a doomsday scenario in their little?
They all do. They all of them do. Yep, the NFL was.
They all have a doomsday scenario where they won't pay the players.
I know the NFL and NBA do because though they've already talked about those two players unions the going after the shield, both shields
The Shield, yeah.
for their money.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that they. I mean, look, like when we talked, we texted off camera that the players' union agreed to those terms, so they can't bitch about it. They agreed to those terms with having those doomsday scenario. So
No, yeah, it's they did. They
I know why they agreed to it because they probably thought that it would never get to that point.
yeah. Oh yeah.
I know why they agreed to it. So I'm not gonna sit here and say that they were wrong for agreeing to it, but they knew that. Well, come on, what's the odds of this happening? So let's just sign off on it. Boom. And now it's come to the point where this might happen, and these owners might enact that doomsday clause because they have no money coming in, Bobby. I know that. I mean, they have no money coming in. They don't. So,
No, I know.
I know they're billionaires.
That's even more of an incentive for these owners to say, guess what? This is a pandemic and we ain't paying. So it's every day that goes by that they don't play is even more reason for these two leagues to say we ain't paying you. No, and we don't have to because of this.
Because that's why I think something's going to come to a head where something's going to force somebody's hand to either play these games or.
What about what about the players themselves being like, we want to play?
Yeah, right. It might come to a point where 2 weeks from now, well, these players might want to play.
That's what I'm saying. Like what? Like
let's just play in front of no fans.
Yeah, like what? Like these players are going to be putting. It could come to the point where the players are putting pressure on the coaches and being like, look, like we want to play. We want to. There's only been 3 people tested positive for this thing. Like, let's play.
Let's play.
Because they're going to want their.
There's a 2 week, we're quarantined.
And so here's a real snake kind of situation, right? What if the owners leak it out, and the players, what if the owners leak it out to the NFL, to the NBA Players Association and the NHL Players Association, and they're like, if this doesn't get resolved, and these players don't come back out, we're not. What if they leak that info out? We're not going to pay you.
Yeah.
What do you think you're going to do if you're an NHL player or an NBA? You're going to be bugging your coach to get your ass back on the court?
I mean, I know some of the younger NBA players probably don't, haven't been in the league very, very, very long. So this is the first paycheck they've had, pretty much in their life.
Yeah.
I mean, they haven't had the opportunity to save money up. So, I mean, what are they going to do?
Yeah. I
mean, these guys are the guys on rookie contracts that this is the first contract they've had in their life. They had never had a job before. So, I mean, of course, they haven't had like LeBron James has been in the league for umpteen years. So he's had chances to save money, invest money, and he might be okay when this hiatus. But like a guy like Zion Williamson, he might not be. Jay Moran might not be. So, I mean, it's something's going to come to a head in a few weeks, especially probably by the 1st of April if nothing is resolved where these players might want to play. Because they're not getting paid, man. They're not getting paid.
So Valhalla has a pretty good idea. He's got this fan thing solved.
Yeah. What'd you say here? Put one fan from each team on opposite sides of the arena and let them boost it up and yell at each other. Game on. Booze it up, man. If I was 25, I'd win, but I wouldn't probably win right now. But if I was 25, I can booze it up, but not now.
But something's gonna give. Something is going
I told you because these casinos are losing billions, and they're going to lose billions of dollars. Not right now, but
They already are. There's nothing to bet on. Think about how much money. I mean, from like basic knowledge, like you figure $100 million a day gets exchanged. $100 million probably gets exchanged a day in Vegas.
Yeah, throughout the country. Yeah, throughout the country. Yeah.
You know, a day. So $100 million per day. So this is day 4. We're already looking at half of.
Right back. I gotta go use a head.
Half, dude. It's already $300 million. Like, it's, you know, something's gonna give. Whether it's, you know, pressure from you know, one of these sides is gonna give. I mean, to guess which side it is. I mean, you guys, you know, you know, you can kind of make an argument for either angle. The players, the coaches, the owners, the sports betting books. Something's got to give. It has to. With the amount of money being lost, daily. With no sporting events, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, so something's got to give. I mean, like I said, we talked about it. I mean, because you go to the casinos, you know, if it's legal in your state, you can bet on whatever you want. You want to bet on whatever game you want to bet on: hockey, basketball, baseball. I mean. So there's prop bets you can do, and I mean these casinos are going to lose. They are now. They are losing money because March Madness is not being held. So all those brackets aren't being filled out. You know, nobody's betting on Duke to win it all, or Gonzaga, or Dayton, whatever. And like you said, something's going to come to. Like I said, we both said that something's going to come to a head. Probably within 30 days.
Oh, it's going to happen within the 30-day limit. Yep.
So something, because you're going to see something's going to happen, man. Because I think Dana White is a little ahead of the curve about the UFC continuing with no fans, and maybe Vince McMahon to an extent also with no fans.
If anything, Vince is not going to want to lose the money from WrestleMania, like the pay-per-view money too. Like, yeah. He'll continue. If anything, he'll continue WrestleMania with no fans.
I mean, yeah, because you can still show it with the pay-per-view money.
So, right. Whoa! I did not know that. Holy crap! Wow.
What does that say?
It says they shut down Vegas today. All MGM properties in the Wynn org decided they are closed as of tomorrow. Wow.
Well, I know I did, because you know I play a little. It's a free slot game. It's My Vegas.
Yeah.
You can get rewards too, because we have an MGM casino in Biloxi, Mississippi, the Beau Rivage. And actually, I got enough rewards to have playing this little free game to get a free night stay during the week, of course. But yeah, I think they're limiting their buffet. They're shut down.
So that says Wynn too, right? Well, I believe the Encore in Boston, the casino in Boston is a Wynn as well. So that means the casino in Boston is also, if that's true, that means the casino in Boston, if it's all Wynn properties.
It's MGM.
It says all MGM properties and the Wynn organization. Okay. So I would assume it's the Wynn as well. So that means the casino in Boston is shut down as well. So
wow, because there's an MGM casino in Biloxi, Mississippi, and it's called the Beau Rivage, and it's of course, you know, they if you've been to a casino, you know, if you've been to an MGM casino, you know what I'm talking about, where it's like, man, it's risky, you know, man.
Valhalla, I assume that, you know, if you read it in Boston, I mean, if you read it that it's closed in Vegas, I'm sure that if it was like the Wynn and MGM organizations, they're probably going to close down, pretty much, they're probably going to do a national closure of
Yeah.
their casinos.
Man,
So I would,
the MGM. I mean, they have casinos in Tunica, Mississippi, which is up by Memphis.
mm-hmm,
They have one, of course. They have one in Biloxi, which is not far from me. Of course, they got shitload in Vegas.
mm-hmm.
So
Oh,
yeah,
that MGM in that like that they own half the strip. They really do.
Yeah. I got an MGM card. I got one of those player cards. Player cards. So man, I'm sure you've been in casinos, right?
Yep.
I mean, when you walk in, you walk in like by all these shops first. They want you to go by the shops first before you go gamble.
Yeah, yeah.
And then when you walk out, you walk past those same shops. Those fucking bastards.
I know, man. I know they
smart, man. They smart, man. They know how to get money, man.
they certainly
Smart,
do.
man. They are very. I mean, like I said, something's going to come to a head, man, because these casinos are losing money because they're not getting this gambling revenue. And I don't know what they're going to get. Like regular people going to the gamble, maybe they aren't going to the casinos there also, like they normally would. So something's going to come to a head within 30 days, and I think this is going to get resolved. Actually,
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
this country can't. I mean, if this country can't survive it, just economically, I mean, we're going to have problems with this. This could be our the 1927 Black Thursday. When we went into a depression to World War II. I'm not gonna say we're going to go to depression, but
So Valhalla dropping some more news. So let's see. This says Bellagio, Luxor, Mandalay Bay, New York, Excalibur, and MGM Grand will close.
wow.
Wynn has also announced its closing. It's
Mr. Vegas. Wow.
wow. So that's cool.
Bellagio, Luxor, Mandalay Bay, New York, Excalibur, MGM.
So
wow.
basically all the big casinos on the strip are all closing.
That's like the main ones there on Casino Row.
Yeah, no beard beyond. I had to get rid of the beard. The girlfriend overruled that real quick, fast, and in a hurry.
I gotta do mine tomorrow.
The girlfriend overruled that.
I mean, come on, Bobby, you're like me. I mean, remember when you were like 15 years old and you first got the little peach fuzz, and you're like, "Oh, I want to shave," and your daddy and your older brother told you, "No, you don't want to shave every day. You don't want to shave every day," and you're like, "Yeah, I do," and now I'm like, "Fuck, man, I don't want to shave every day."
I don't want to spend. Goddamn, I don't want to spend a half hour doing this goddamn crap.
You're like, God damn it, they were right. Because when you're 15 and you got that peach fuzz, you're like, ooh, man, this is nice.
What's up, B on the game? What's up, man?
So casinos, like I said, Bobby, casinos shutting down is just the first domino to fall to get something kind of movement to go on. The movement to get some kind of resolution to this sports.
Because don't think for 1 second that these owners from these sports teams don't see kickbacks from them.
You're right, they don't. So this is the first domino to fall to see. Like I said, April 1st, I think you're going to see something. We're going to have sports April 1st. Something's going to happen. Has to, man, because it economically this country can't survive. It can't. I mean,
it's a pretty good that's a big chunk of money. That's.
I mean, whether you vote Republican or Democrat is really pointless. This country can't survive.
But let's say this too, right? Like, you can't at least like there'll be with the sports. At least there'll be some sort of something into the like at least the like it'll create like. There'll be like if there's no sports and then they do like a national closure and send everybody home, like that's That's going to be tough. That's, you know what I mean? Like, that's, hopefully it doesn't get to that point.
Yeah, yeah, but those casinos closing in Vegas supposedly. That's huge. That's huge news, honestly. And we're only, and what this happened? What, Bobby? This happened what? This happened Wednesday night, and this is freaking Sunday.
Yeah, I know. I
I
know.
mean, this is not. It's not even a week. It's not even a
Well,
week.
just to like, so like, just to put it into perspective for people. I mean, I know we kind of talked about it on the last stream we did, but like, just to put it into perspective, like, we started hearing about the coronavirus in China in what, maybe December, early December.
Yeah, yeah, maybe January. Yeah, around that time, probably. Yeah.
So call it mid-December, right? We'll give it the benefit of the doubt. Mid-December, right?
Yeah.
It's so that's so call it the middle of January, the middle of February, and it's now the middle of March, and they're just recovering.
Yeah.
3 months it took to recover. So we're in the same spot China was in, in the early stages. So,
Yeah.
so mid-March, mid-April.
China has like look at the population difference between China and the States.
I think that's a big part of why we're not seeing like such a huge influx of this.
China has much more population than we have here, so.
I think that's actually working to our advantage, though. We're more spread out than they are.
Than China is, yeah. And they got a shitload more people than we do.
But I mean, if we're just going off of like, if we can use that as like a barometer, it took them 3 months to recover.
Yeah.
So you figure, mid-April is. So it's mid-March, mid-April, mid-June. So it's like it started when in February, right?
Yeah, because Mardi Gras, yeah, that's around that time, like late February.
So
that's when I got sick was late.
So you figure early June.
Yeah.
Is when we'll.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna go. I don't think it's gonna go that long, man. I'm telling you, I think it's gonna be something's gonna happen next month.
But but you know what I mean? Like, so if we're, using the Chinese kind of, if we're using that as a barometer, then you're talking, we're gonna be in our situation that we're in until, it could be the first week in June.
Yeah, so I don't think it's gonna go. I don't think it's gonna go that far. This country can't survive economically. Something's gonna happen, and something's gonna force these leagues' hands, and I don't know. I think it's gonna be sometime next month. I think the 30 days is accurate from what Silver said, a few days ago. So probably mid-April, but because those casinos shutting down, man, changes things, man. Because like you said, they're all in cahoots, man. I mean, they're just. These casinos are losing money because nobody's gambling, nobody's going there,
and they're losing money on a scale that we can't even fathom. You figure the entire Vegas Strip, is probably losing $100 million a day.
Yeah. Right.
Think about that for a second. $100 million a day. Give them the benefit of the doubt. We'll call it $50 million a day, right? Yeah. We'll chop it out.
Go low end. Let's go low end.
$50 million a day, right? Now, do the math. 50.
You got a calculator?
50 times 90.
Yeah.
Tens of billions of dollars, is going to be lost.
That's why I said something's going to happen sooner or later.
Hundreds of billions. You're talking, like it's an astronomical amount of money.
I'm not surprised this happened because when you were on a few days ago talking with I think Coach was on. I thought, I mean, it was late at night, but I said, man, I thought about getting on because y'all were talking about, the doomsday scenario with the owners and all that, and I was like, man, these casinos can't, these casinos aren't going to last because there's no revenue coming in with these March Madness and betting on this, betting on that, betting on the baseball game, betting on the football game.
He's
So
So Valhalla said this too. I didn't even think about this, but think about this, right? The cabs, the restaurants, hotels, dry cleaners, and then we all know the
and the
last one.
hookers, the hookers, yeah, the hookers, yeah. Because if anybody's been into a casino, you've seen the girls that walk around dressed a little nicely, uh, with their boobs hanging out. Yeah, they're looking for they're looking for a sugar daddy for the night. So yeah, but yeah. I mean, like I said, Bobby, I think, man, just day 4, starting up a sportsaholic. Get in.
It's gonna come to that though, dude. Like if it's people are gonna
We're
like
not having a weekend, Bobby. We're seeing people freak out, man. I mean, people are buying like thousands of toilet paper for some reason, man, because they're I guess they're afraid they're gonna shit all it. I mean, I don't know, man. It's bad, man.
Valhalla says I've never seen women like that in casinos. Yes, you
But
have.
you ever seen the girls with boobs hanging out? Yeah, okay.
Just look to the right and left.
Look to the right and left, and you'll see those girls with their boobs hanging out.
Where you have to second guess their attire just once or twice.
You know what I like? I mean, I like the ones that are like dragging their oxygen tank with them, with the cigarette in their mouth. I like those. I stay away from those guys. I'm like, it's you, man. I'm not going by you. You can go by that quarter machine, have fun, but I'm going over here. I mean, they got the they sucking the cigarette and the oxygen at the same time.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
You got problems, Chief.
I've seen it.
If you need a cigarette and oxygen, yeah, you got
The
problems.
best one is they have those motorized scooters and they just literally just drive around the casino in them things. You ever?
yeah, those, yeah, and they got the oxygen tank in the back, and then
Yeah.
the cigarette in
Yeah.
their mouth. Bastards, man, you're gonna blow the place up. But I did see where the talking about the Beau Rivage over here, the MGM one. They are going to close the buffet down for a while because buffets are they're bacteria traps. People that walk around the buffet areas. So,
Coach, they will run your ass over if you get in their way. They'll run right into it.
Yeah, they won't stop. They only blow that little horn. They only blow a little horn on you. On their baby and straight right there. They got, you want to hold my baby and try if I give you a lap dance? Here, honey.
Oh, that's fucking funny. Oh man, that's funny right there.
Yeah, they
But it's I mean, there's a lot of people, like the leagues aren't only going to be, facing pressure from the team
owners and
yeah. So it's going to be even Goose, even the host cities.
Yeah.
Like the mayor is going to be like, well, you guys bring in a shitload of revenue,
X amount of money a month
to this town.
City, yeah.
Like, I mean, think about it. Like, how much do the Saints, when they fill that stadium, it's imagine not having that would be
Right.
the money that it brings into the city just in revenue for getting the people there.
Even the Pelicans 41 home games.
Yeah.
They have every year. Everybody talks about the Pelicans. They don't draw crap, but It's a business that's in the city for 41 days of the year.
Yeah.
For 41 days out of the year, you're not going to have that revenue come in. So look at the difference. So,
And it's just like we said before, it's like you really do have to like think outside the box for these, in the way that the pressure is going to come for these leagues to start back up again.
Yeah.
Because the host towns, all the betting's a big one. Las Vegas is going to be putting pressure on all these leagues. MLB,
Vegas will be putting pressure on these both these leagues, the MLB, NHL, and the NBA to resume activities as ASAP.
But see, they'll call it as you know what they'll call it to sound civil. We want you to resume your normal activities as you deem safely. That's what they'll.
There we go. You're talking like a lawyer, Bobby.
But see that's what they'll call it. So they don't look bad.
Because something's gonna happen. I mean, when this first happened, Thursday. I'm like, there's no way this shit can go on for 30, 60 days. It's impossible. I mean, because it's impossible. It can't happen because it's just the money that's gonna be lost with March Madness and the NBA, NHL. I mean, I don't know if they bet on soccer, MLS. I'm sure they do. I'm sure they bet on soccer. But the even the ones the European leagues, the Premier League is suspended.
Yeah. I mean, just look at Italy. They've shut that whole country down.
Yeah. So this is really I mean, like I said, but I think this is with the MGM, all these casinos in Vegas is the first domino to fall to get sports back started again.
Even if and like I said, it might return. The best case scenario is it comes back and there's no fans. They test everybody. They test everybody.
That's what they wanted to begin with.
Yeah.
So let's go back to that.
Yeah, they test everybody involved in the game, and here's the thing: if you test positive for it, guess what? You're gonna they're high level athletes. They're in the best shape in their life. Bro, we gotta send you home until you recover from this. So just go home, self quarantine yourself until you beat this thing and you feel better and you come back. But until that, a lot of the responses to this thing were knee jerk reactions, and it was just people following suit.
Yeah, suit. Yeah.
They were just following suit. They weren't like it was a lot of like, are they trying? Like, I get why they're doing what they're doing, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's an extinction level event like people are making it sound like. I don't think it's at that level. I really don't. I
kind of figured Vegas would kind of eventually force these leagues' hands.
Yeah,
because Vegas is.
If they go a week more without no revenue, you better believe they're going to go to the NHL, to the NBA, and to the all
Whatever.
These, and they're going to be like, look, we gotta do something.
Some resolution has to happen. You guys need to make a decision of what y'all's guys are going to do. Otherwise, because ESPN, like I said, ESPN, who's going to watch their crap programs during the week? Nobody's going to watch First Take and Get Up and whatever the hell they have going on.
ESPN sucks. I hate
ESPN really is going to have a problem. Look, ESPN runs a lot. They run all the college bowl games, all of them.
Yep.
All 41 bowl games they run. There's 41 bowl games because of ESPN, because of the TV contracts. That's
because of the advertisement money. Yep.
Right. So that's why they have 41 bowl games. Not because fans go to them, not because there's people watching the games, it's because advertising dollars. So ESPN is going to lose money out of this. So something's going to come to a head. And I thought about this a few days ago. I said, no, I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but this can't continue the way they can't continue with no revenue, because I run a business, and if you have no money coming in at all,
it's not good.
It's not. You're not going to stay in business very long. If you have no money coming in, and you have all money going out, if you have all this money going out and nothing coming in, eventually, yeah, it's not good. So, yeah. So something's going to come to a head probably within 30 days. I think that's why maybe that's why Silver gave 30 days. Maybe that's why Silver said 30 days, because I mean, he's got to be smart enough to know that they can't last 3 months.
3 months, yeah.
He has to be smart enough to know that. He ain't dumb. I mean, he ain't an idiot. Neither is Batman or. I mean, they're not dumb. I mean, they got to know that.
That's from Brayton for you, Goose.
What's that?
Them
Congrats
Tigers.
on winning it all, yeah. I mean, LSU might be the last champion ever, right? We might not ever have any sports ever. Sports might be done for until the apocalypse comes.
But it's yeah, no, like it's me and you are definitely in agreement on that. Something's going to give. Something's got to give. Something's going to give. It's like the people that stand to lose, the country stands to lose a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. Something's got to give, because it doesn't work. I mean, come on, man.
I mean, unless they basically just tell Vegas to screw. But
they won't.
They won't
tell Vegas to screw.
That's what I'm saying. I really don't think, the NBA, the NBA, the MLB, NHL. And the NHL have the balls to be like, screw you, which, I don't, because they see a cut from all that. The shields, all three of those shields see cuts from, from that.
You want to see action? Let the NFL let the NFL cancel, and then you'll definitely see action. Then you'll see a resolution come forth. Because the NFL won't play. The NFL will not play without fans. I don't think they will. I don't know about your thoughts on that, but I don't think the NFL would ever play without fans.
Well, the fans are half. That's a huge portion. I don't want to say half, but that's a huge portion of their revenue. Huge.
You know how much money the Saints make on a home game? The Saints make, shit, man. They make a whole bunch of money.
Perspective, right? Parking, Goose, for the Patriots. Kraft makes like it's $50 a freaking car to park,
really?
Right?
Yeah, I'll be right back. 1 second.
I mean, you're talking per home game, dude. That's $200,000 per game. It's just that the like we've said before, guys. Coach K, I would think to a point. To a point. Up to a certain point. But here's the thing: if those advertisers aren't getting, like if the games are canceled, and let's say they paid for their ad to run during a certain game, and those games are now canceled, those TV deals and those ad revenue, those companies, they're gonna want their money back. They're gonna want their money back. So they're gonna be going after the owners of these teams, saying, you promised me airtime and I'm not getting it, and I paid you for airtime, and we're not, I'm not gonna get it. So give me my money back. That's what a lot of these these companies are going to do when they realize that their ad's not going to get played during a prime time game. They're going to take it back. They're going to be like, I want my money back. And that's just, that's pulling, once again, it's pulling more money away from these leagues, the shields of these the leagues. It's just a widespread loss. Like there's if normal sports activity doesn't resume soon, it's going to be they're looking at a lot of tough decisions coming up. A lot of interesting decisions coming up that they're going to have to make relatively soon. Because sooner or later, there's going to be pressure coming from both sides, or from all sides, I should say. It's going to be interesting. We're kind of just in a holding pattern at the moment, but when this thing starts to turn into weeks and not days, that's when we're going to really see where what direction these different leagues and different shields are gonna go in. That's Coach K. I'm telling you, man. You really do have to. You really do have to think outside the box when you start. When you start, trying to figure out. When you start trying to figure out these like who's going to be affected by it, like you were saying, the seasonal workers. The seasonal workers at at these facilities. It really is. It's crazy. Like, cause it goes so far. The workers at the facilities, the security, it's crazy how far you could actually take it. It really is crazy. I know the Boston Bruins are pitching in money to help the staff of the TD Garden here in Boston. I do know that. So I know players from the Celtics are probably, I think they're doing the same thing. It's so Coach made a good point too.
Yeah.
This is a good point.
What's that, man?
He said players helping pay for people's he said
the salaries, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Because I saw Zion did that with the ones here in New Orleans. Yeah, some of these workers, they need this money for this month, and so yeah, it's very good. The Pelicans organization put out some kind of bullshit memo about how because they're just a tenant of the building, they can't do it, or they can't help out. Well, come on, man. I mean, Gail Benson's worth of like $2 billion, and she can't pay these workers' salaries for a month. Give me a break, man.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, Gail Benson's worth like a $2 billion. I mean, does it really matter if she's worth $1 billion or $2 billion? She can pay these workers' salaries for a month and not miss a beat. It's not gonna hurt her pocketbook. It's a shame that one of her employees, Zion, has to do it, and he's a rookie. So what kind of contract? He don't have any money. He don't have money like LeBron does. That kind of money, I should say. But I mean, it was good for Zion to do that, because I think he pledged $100,000 for these workers in the Smoothie King Center for a month, because, like I said, like some of these people probably rely on that money to pay bills. They pay their water bill, their mortgage, whatever it is, and it's not their fault that this happened. So
no doubt, no
So
No doubt.
somebody. I mean, it's not their fault this happened. Um, so like somebody has to pay their bills.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, until this situation gets resolved.
All right,
'Cause, I
Goose.
mean,
It's fucking midnight here. I gotta
what
be.
time it really it is?
It's midnight here. I gotta
Oh,
be up in.
oh,
I gotta be up in like 4 hours. So
oh, damn. Well, you're young. You get up.
I ain't
I
young no more.
know.
I
I
used
didn't
to
know.
be. I used to be able to do that.
Yeah, yeah. You remember those days when you like wouldn't even go to sleep and you would go to work?
I do, bro. I
I,
can't.
I, I
I can't even eat Wendy's now without suffering for like 6 hours.
really.
Oh, if I eat a Wendy, dude,
I'm
if I eat a Wendy's hamburger, it tastes great for the first. It feels
5 minutes.
great for the first like 15 minutes, and then it just feels like I swallowed a rock.
I remember several times going out, and then not going to sleep, and then just going to work. And guess what, man? You know what happened the next night? I went out again. So I didn't sleep like 48 hours. Yeah, it's fun being young, huh? When you can go out and not go to sleep, go to work, and recover in in fractions of a time. I mean, now I go out and get drunk. I wake up, I'm like, oh god, the freight train hit me.
Oh, it did. Hey, Valhalla, you have a good night, man. Good talking with you, for sure.
I didn't realize it was so late, man. It is. It's 11 o'clock. Damn.
It's yeah, it's freaking
I didn't
midnight.
realize.
We've been live for 3 hours and 40 minutes,
Nice, man. We'll have to do it again next week.
for sure. But I mean, it's like we.
Hopefully we'll have something. Hope we'll have some. Well, maybe something will happen this week. I mean, I doubt it, but you never know.
Like
I
we've
said,
I mean like we've talked about, and like we've said it a few times now, it's so widespreading, like the effect of not having this is you might like
yeah,
it's it's just been, you really do have to think outside the box, because it's not just these organizations, it's so much surrounding it too that's all affected.
yeah. That's why I say. That's why I always said something's going to have to happen within this month. Where I mean,
Some kind of a decision is going to have to be
yeah,
made,
yeah.
whether it's good or bad. Something's gonna.
Right. Whether it's good or bad, right? Either or, I guess, huh? I mean, I guess, yeah. I guess you got. It's midnight by you, man. It's only 11 by me, but it's like midnight by you. You got to get up and go. You got to go to work up there in Boston. You going to Boston tomorrow?
I am.
Boston? Car? Say car. Say car for me.
What, car?
Car.
It's a car.
I got a friend. I met him after Katrina. He came down here after Katrina to work on he's a roofer.
Yeah.
And he called it rough. I said, what? Rough. So what are you talking about? I said, I'm a rougher. I'm like, what? Oh, roof. I'm like, all right, man. Oh man, I hope you have a wonderful day tomorrow, man. That you hope you don't get the COVID-19.
Like I said, man, we're luckily it hasn't affected work life. We did get shut down once as a precaution, but I mean, outside of that, Boston is, I mean, the city, parts of it, and like I said, jobs that can work remotely are working remotely in Boston. They're
Yeah.
But for 75, probably 70% of the city it's life.
If Mardi Gras wasn't here for these past 2 months, New Orleans probably wouldn't have the outbreak they had.
Yeah.
I think the virus came from outside of the state. So,
Yeah. There's no doubt that it did. No doubt.
that's what happened. So
But people travel you travel everywhere.
That's why they're going to shut down domestic travel eventually, I think.
Yeah.
But, I hate to see it, but All right, man. I don't want to keep you because it's midnight. It's
And-
midnight by you, and it's not. If it was Friday night, we keep going till it's like I don't know 2 3 o'clock in the morning.
Believe me, we'll have to. Yeah,
Yeah, we'll have to do we'll have to do this on like a Friday night or something like that, or a Saturday night, especially when my wife is working when she's not here. So
Oh yeah.
But,
Hey, believe me, I'll get me a 12-pack and we'll resume normal activities.
oh, awesome. Well, I'll get me a case.
But anyways, Goose, thanks a lot for
No problem, man. I had
for
a great-
hanging
I
out,
had
man.
a great time, man. I really didn't realize it was midnight. Like,
Brayton,
I really didn't.
thanks for hanging in there. Brayton, Coach K, Valhalla Sports, and I believe Beyond the Game was in here earlier. Coach Plays.
Make sure you guys give a thumbs up to the video. I mean smash it like 18 times.
I'll put my man Goose's link in the description after this video so you guys can go check his channel out, Goose76 Sports, and go grab him up as well.
Yeah,
Drop a
man.
subscription on him, guys. Once again, for myself, Butcher's Block and Patriots Talk, Goose76 Sports.
That's right, man. We got it, man.
We
Have a
are
great one,
out of
man.
here for the night. Peace.